in stone divine.
It's all about your top four, nothing more. Rushmore Show, kicking down the door, ranking the icons, the greats we adore. It's all about your top four, nothing more. Nothing more.
This is the Rushmore Show, where it's all about your top four and nothing more. And Isaac's already telling us it's time to go. Well, friends, it is Thursday, which you know what that means. Another Rushmore is on deck. Our last one of the nostalgia series. We're ready to get into sports. But before we do, we have to bring on our nostalgia crew to finish off a great 2 months. And we're going to talk some serious retro television tonight. But before we do, Andy, we hit 1,500 today. Yes, sir.
Yes. You know what that
Today.
calls for? You know what that calls for? It calls for a screaming goat.
So StreamYard has now introduced some fun sounds, and we'll play around with those tonight. So 1,500 in the subscribers. If you're one of those new guys, welcome on in. Retro Rays, welcome in. Let's go, Colin and Jason. Well, if you're obviously a friend of Colin and Jason's, you're a friend of ours. So Retro Rays, welcome to the Summit Squad. This little ditty is for you. Throw you a wrench, throw you a little bone, Retro Ray, and that means you are going to be one of our people in the Summit Squad. That's how we do things around here. If you want to keep that wrench, just act cool. If you don't ever want to use the wrench, we won't ever see you until the next time Jason and Colin come showing up. But if you want to show up on a Thursday night, this is what we do. We do this, and then we rank our top four through all kinds of things. We're in nostalgia. We go sports, then food, video games, music, movies, TV, and back to nostalgia. So welcome in, man. Welcome in.
Can I say something real quick? Can I say something to all of our friends who are here?
Yeah.
Hello there.
Hello there. Oh, hello there. That's little General Kenobi.
Yeah,
And Poetically Christian Gamer, he's on next week. I'm excited about that. 16 people in the chat. I don't see 16 people chatting. A lot of people lurking. If you're out there lurking, welcome in. Say hello, at least to tell us you're here. And let's talk. Andy, a couple things that are coming up. One, I am working on the official website of the Rushmore Show. Not just a social networking, but an actual website that we can do all kinds of things that we want to do. We can kind of put all of our socials in one spot. 80s Movie Den. I'm assuming you are also here for our fabulous guests. I'm going to throw bones to both of you guys. Welcome into the Summit Squad. But I am working on the website for a little bit of the ministry side of things and a little bit of the pop culture side of things. We're squeezing them all together. And Andy, you had a great idea a couple days ago. We are launching what we're calling Bread Bites. And Bread Bites is little bite-sized nuggets, right, Andy, of just pop culture and Christianity. Boom. Bite-sized nuggets. We're going to be doing that throughout the week. You're going to see the first one probably, well, actually, we kind of did one just a minute ago because it's Power Rangers Day.
Yes,
and Andy,
for those who celebrate.
You didn't title it as a bread bite, but
It's kind of a bread bite.
it's a bread bite. And here is the deal. Well, you'll probably see a lot of those coming up very shortly. B2 is in the house. 80s Movies Den. Thank you guys for all being here. Andy, you got anything to tell everybody while I throw some bones at these folks?
I'm having a good time.
Oh, that's
not.
so
I'm excited for tonight. Kind of bumped in nostalgia, but we are going to be moving into sports over the next 2 months. We got some really cool things lined up there. And like you heard Kirk say, be looking forward to some of those bread bites and websites and Gideonites. I don't know what else rhymes with ites that are coming out. I don't know why I said that, but get ready for those. It's gonna be a lot of fun. The next bread bite, the official first bread bite that's coming out, is actually a devotional centered around Cracker Barrel. So wait till you see that one. That'll be fun. But we got a lot of friends in the house tonight. And what I heard is one of our guests tonight has thrown a challenge out there to the internet, right? Our record is 42 live. He said we're going triple digits tonight. So, I mean, we got a good start. 18 right off the bat. That's a good way to start. But I think in order to keep them here, we should probably start getting into our tonight, the topic. So what we got?
I don't want to prove Colin wrong. So don't go anywhere. Even if you don't want to watch, just set your phone somewhere. And let's see if we can do this. Kenneth Bird, our first ever winner of a giveaway, is in the chat. And Fat Boy is in the house. 10 hype like. Wait, there's only 10 likes. We have 20 people in the chat. Everybody, go hit the like button right now while I welcome in our guests. This is a perfect time to get ready, get your popcorn going. It's time to talk about Rushmore of retro TV dads. Andy, let's get it. Now, B2 says, we already like you too, B2. 21 in the house. Say hello to my little friend. I've got two guys joining on the show today. The first guy needs really no introduction. He's been here now three times. This is his fourth introduction. We almost had him a fifth time. But let's see. Andy, he's done the best wrestling belts of all time with Pac-Man Case. He also, that's a reminder to turn my phone down. He also did Smash Ventura. He did 80s Ladies of Rock. Man, that was a great show. And his first show that he ever did with us, Andy, was, I remember kind of almost being starstruck having a really cool YouTuber, and I didn't turn it down. That was what I wanted to do. But he came on and did top 4 cartoons ever. That was in our first year. And I remember he gave us a big shout out on his channel and all these new people coming hung over. And I was like, wow, this is cool. And I remember back then he said, it's criminal. These guys only have, I think we had like 200 then, right? Well, now we're at 1,500 today. And a lot of that is on the shoulders of people like this guy. I think he's almost busting 6,000 now.
Come on.
Welcome to the show, Jason Knupp of the New 80s Revolution. There he is, dressed in his robe, nice bald head. Looks like you gained a little weight. We're getting there. We're getting where you want to be. You know, I've watched the show, and there was a time where we're upset we're too skinny. There's a time we're upset we're too heavy. Right now, you look marvelous, right? You're looking marvelous.
Goodness. Yes, I do, don't I?
Yeah. I'm glad to see that you're feeling good. I can tell you that.
For multiple different reasons, a few that you're aware of. Yeah, it's great to be here a fourth time. I think that's the record, right? I mean, it needs to be.
Well, it's unfortunately not even close to the record, but it's the record for anybody that does 80s channels. It is the record.
Yeah,
that record.
No, we'll settle for that. I kind of like to be number one, but
we would love to have you at number one. That means let's see. I think Paul is at 12, and I think Dylan's at 11.
So just join us for the next 2 months every Thursday.
Yes, hang out with us the next 2 months, and you're there.
Yeah.
Jason.
Thanks.
Oh yeah. Wait, Jason. We need to have you say this.
Yeah.
Welcome to the New 80s Revolution Cave. We need something like that.
You want me to do my shtick?
Do it. Do your shtick.
Hang on. Hello, everybody. Jason Knupp, New 80s Revolution Cave, and I am here on the Rushmore Show for the fourth time ever. Regardless of what they say, that is a record, and I'm looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, Retro Rays loves it. Now let's get out. Dude, I got to get used to these new little things.
I'm going to interrupt you with soundboard all night now that it's a feature.
I love it. I'm going to call you pauljpowers.com. So 22 in the chat. Hey, so let's get this other guy out here. He's new to the channel. He's not new to our hearts, though, because I watched a video, Jason, of this guy showing up to your house with like thousands of dollars worth of valuable things. Of most people would call it junk. People like us, we call it treasure. And he brought all this amazing stuff. And I'm like, who the heck is that guy? Never seen him before. And then all of a sudden, he starts popping in the chat a little more. He starts popping in the comments. You know, I'm always lurking around. And then I see where he starts a channel. And I'm like, let's see what this guy's all about. And it may or may not be one of the funniest channels on the internet. And I'm not kidding. My son and I, every time we go driving, he's like, hey, is that guy that's going to be on your show in a couple weeks, Dad? And yeah, it's him. And he's like, he's hilarious. He's just so funny. Hey, nice gray skull back there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yep, I'm looking in. Anyways, that's Owazram, another bald guy with a great beard. A lot of bald guys with beards. Bryce J.W. in the house just snuck in here. Patrick McCaskill snuck in here. Let's get out our other guy. We've already had now 4 Canadians on the show, Andy.
We have.
I didn't know there were 4.
Right? 4. This will be number 5. We are just really...
We've almost gotten every Canadian on here. So that's good.
Almost every Canadian ever. Yes. Let's get this guy out here. Colin from, you know it, Canada.
Gentlemen, you've made the right decision. Hello.
Right
off the bat, am I too loud?
No, you're great.
That's the first.
Colin,
Okay,
just as Jason dropped his famous one-liner, we bring us right there with Lester. Bring us right on in, and let's get this show going.
Friends, welcome in. It's Colin from Canada. It's not Colin from Canada's Good Junk, but it's the Rushmore Show. Lester is over here. Lester, let me hear you. Yes, buddy. We are live on the Rushmore Show. It's Retro TV Dads. It's the top 4 and all that good stuff.
I love it.
So good.
It's fantastic.
Hey, you guys, y'all are fantastic. Hey, let me just, everybody in the chat, there's 22 of you. Last time I looked, Colin from Canada was right in the 95, 6, 7 area. Right now, everybody go sub him. Huh?
97.
Okay, he needs 3 more subs. Let's get him to 110.
Oh, we got it now. Come on.
Right now. Everybody, go do it. Go sub Colin from Canada. And while you're at it, sub New 80s Revolution. If you're in the chat and you have a wrench, not only can you share your channel, but you can share everybody else's channel. So if you get to Colin's channel first, put it in the chat. Let's get this thing started. Or New 80s Revolution. They're both in the description, by the way. So anyways, Jason, you've won the toss. You decided to defer to the new guy, and Colin's going to go first. You're going to take, he's taking the ball. I don't know if you know anything about that in Canada. And
do they do that in Canadian football too? Canadian football league has to kick
3
off.
downs in Canadian football. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yeah,
2 50-yard lines, right?
The Argonauts.
2 50-yard lines.
Warren Moon was a great player for the Argonauts. Yeah. So let's get this thing going. So we're talking about retro TV dads, but before we do, Colin, tell us all about Colin from Canada. Why retro things? What is this channel you got going on? If I was to sum it up, I actually told this to somebody. It reminds me of like an old British comedy. Some of the stuff that you say, especially when you get your dad out there, and it's just segment after segment, and the music transitions are just they're to die for. They're to die for. Can you tell everybody here what they would interact with if they showed up over there in your Canadian world?
Well, to be honest, Kirk, I was hoping you could do a better job than me because I have no clue how to describe what I do. But I'll give it my best. If Tom Green, David Letterman, and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood had a kid, folks, do you like my dad? Do you like Gorilla Monsoon quotes? Do you like a guy that puts bloopers of himself on each episode? Do you like a guy that knows people only want to watch for 15 minutes, but he continues to create 1-hour episodes weekly? Come on over. It's a real hoot. It's me and Lester. We do our best as the episodes go on. They get better. There's clips. There's my thrift store pickups. I like to say that no segment is too long. I try to move it along to something else. If you don't like what I'm doing right now, you might like what I'm about to do next. I'm adding segments every couple of weeks. Driving with Colin will be premiering in the next few episodes. My mother just became part of the show a few episodes ago.
Yes.
I think I covered everything, but yeah, if someone could describe what my show is all about, who already knows my show, feel free to drop it in the comments.
I think the Tom Green, David
That's perfect.
Letterman
That's
reference, Mr. Rogers, was pretty close.
Okay, we'll go with that.
You know, what's funny is one of our friendly Canadians, Cobb Omer, he moved to Canada from by way of Pakistan. He's been on our show quite a bit as well. He's probably been on about 4 times as well. He loves British stuff, and I actually sent him your channel because I'm like, here's another Canadian that I think you might like because you love this style of comedy. I'm not kidding. The transitions are kind of funny because all the quotes, like here in Airplane and all the 80s shtick, it really is good. It's really a good time. So, guys, everybody, go over to Colin. He should already be over 100 by now. If you haven't, that's a shame. Go over there and do that. Manny's Arcade, Religious Fanboy, they will both be on the show soon. Religious Fanboy, tell me how we can connect. Maybe Discord, so we can get you on the show. Manny's Arcade's already booked in January, I think, and Awazram was just on the show. PCG is actually on next week, and I'm sure David will jump in here soon. He's on with you. So that's really awesome. Yeah, share your stuff, guys, in the chat. So Manny, share your channel. Religious Fanboy, share your channel. Retro Ray, share your stuff, man. Let's get started.
Just an update. We're up
first.
to Colin. You're up to
Jason.
99 subs
99.
now.
99er. Did he say niner? Jason, share everybody who has been under a rock because we love your channel and we've talked about it quite a bit. Share everybody what you do over at your place.
Well, before that, we're looking at a group of we got 3 people, but a group of 2 YouTubers separately who again deserve way more fanfare than they have. 1,500 subscribers is outstanding, tremendous. I'm so proud of you guys. Honestly, I think it should be probably 5,000 at this point because what you're doing is such high production and high content and high comedic value and just it's very television-esque and that's what I like to watch. I like to watch stuff that I think should be on the Travel Channel or the History Channel, and you guys
that would be fantastic. Hey, speaking of that though, Jason, we are going to be on the radio. We're going to be on the radio soon. And I need to make that connection back, and that just reminded me. I need to talk to her. So the lady that was the voice of Princess Peach in the video games currently right now, she is actually a radio host, and she wants to have us on her show. So that's going to be cool.
To be honest with you, this time next year, I could see you guys having 10,000 subs and just rolling with it and just being one of those channels on YouTube that means something and impacts people. The other guy, the Canadian there, listen, this guy is quickly becoming one of my best friends, and his stuff, maybe not on the Travel Channel, but he needs to be on 80s public access television.
Yes,
and that's a compliment. Because his stuff is just so funny, and I love comedy, and if I was forced to at gunpoint to give off some of my own positive qualities, I think I'd mention sense of humor and wittiness. But when I see comedy, I like to call it out, and I've told Colin multiple times that his stuff is really, really good comedic gold.
It's so quick-witted too. You just so off the top. It is very, very well.
Like you asked, the New 80s Revolution, that's me. I'm just a guy that sits down here in the basement. I got a bunch of toys, and I really love the 80s. I'm kind of stuck in childhood. for it's a healthy thing, and I just love sharing it with everybody. This room has gone through multiple transformations. The collection has gone through transformations. The channel has transformed. We do all sorts of stuff over here. You're going to watch me buy a whole bunch of stuff and waste my children's college funds on toys. You're going to watch me watch VHS movies on a Zenith console TV. And sometimes we're just going to drive around town and talk about nonsense. You might see me order something from McDonald's. I don't know. But come hang out with the New 80s Revolution. It'll be the best decision you ever made.
Well, that would be.
I second that.
This is Jason Knupp down in the car.
That's right.
Yeah.
The band.
Yeah. Also, very big lover of the horror genre, especially Friday.
Yeah,
Friday the 13th.
Right.
Right. And you chase those signatures. I think you're collecting. Yeah. You're collecting He-Man right now, right?
I'm just kind of wrapping up the 88, 89 Turtles line, all the figures of 88 and 89, including the vehicles and the play sets. And then we're going to move on to He-Man and get some more of those vehicles, and then G.I. Joe, and who knows else from where, or who knows what else. But yeah, the Friday the 13th stuff, I love going around to all the Comic-Cons. I think I've seen that guy, Colin, at a few of them. And I just go and meet the actors of my favorite movie, and it's just so cool.
So Awazram's asking, important question: did you order a snake layer 80s Revolution?
I love how he declares his own question an important question. I do agree with him. No, I haven't. I didn't get. You know why I didn't get the snake layer? Just because it wasn't part of the original toy line, right? I mean, it wasn't. So when I'm collecting He-Man, the Origins figures, they have some weird figures that weren't a part of the original line. I'm skipping those, but I did get the. What have I got from? I haven't gotten any of the play sets. I have the box from the Origins Castle Grayskull, but I haven't gotten any of the play sets. Just the figures and the vehicles.
Hey, we're up to 27. And we've got some great friends that just popped in here. Religious fanboy, I love. Yeah, I'll chat with you on Discord. But my best friend from childhood, Kevin Sims, that's his intro always. He'll be lurking in the background. Sure, we'll have a quick-witted comment here coming soon. He loves video games, but how you doing, buddy? And tell the family hello. And, hey, let's get this thing started. So, Colin, you're going first. So when you were putting together your retro, so we're talking retro TV dads. Retro, I learned this because we have Retro Rewind podcast, and a part of their intro is doing things of 15 years or older. So retro means 15 years or older. Now, I know you guys are 80s guys, so most of your stuff's probably going into a certain decade of things. So when you were talking your list, what was the kind of like, this is the criteria, this is where I'm landing, and then starting to put that puzzle piece together? And then Rosie is number one. Oh, David's in the house. I told you David would be here. So David and PCG are our guests next week. We're going to do sports games. I'm excited about that. David, I need a picture from you. And hey, Derek, if you want to send me a new picture, you can send me one too. Anyways, what were you thinking, Colin?
Basically, a lot of times it was as a child. What was I watching as a child? That affected me, obviously, because it's your first introduction to television. So as a kid, what fathers really clicked with you? The performance of the actor as the father, if he really, like, oh my God, like he's really a dad. I can relate to that type of dad, you know. And also, I guess humor, perhaps the performance, if it was over the top or very comedic, that really went into my criteria. So early childhood, first dads you saw, how well they played the father, and over the top comedic dad. Those are what I kind of
I love that.
based my selections on.
So you get to start us off with the Rosie. We decided here that we thought Roosevelt was the fourth most important or cool president on the, which I think we can all agree with, on the Mount Rushmore. So Rosie's our fun name for it. get us started off. Your fourth, bottom of the list for you in your top 4 retro TV dads. Who you got?
Okay, this was the hardest, to be honest.
Welcome to the show.
The first 3 automatically came.
You're now a regular.
What's that?
You're now a regular because everybody says number 4 is the hardest.
Okay. Well, I am.
It's the line in the sand. Yeah.
It's Mr. Drummond from Different Strokes.
Good pick. Tell
Different
me why.
Strokes was my jam as a kid. Arnold, his bully, the Gooch. I mean, can you not have a better guy, the Gooch? So he was probably my first TV dad. So you got to put your first in there. Conrad Bain. Let's do a little backstory. He's Canadian, and fun fact, he has a twin brother. I'm going to say had because I'm assuming they're no longer with us. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I feel that he was old when he was on Different Strokes, and that was about 30 years ago. So let's put 2 and 2 together, Colin. Conrad Bain as Mr. Drummond for number 4. I thank you.
All right, that is a good pick, and yes, he did pass away 2013.
Thank you.
At least Conrad did. And then his brother passed away in 2005. So you are not speaking out of turn. There you go.
So this show fits the retro. It ran 78 to 86. Great show. Kind of like really stepped over some lines of it, late 70s, early 80s. You see Mr. Drummond adopting or bringing in these kids, and it was a big deal with the racial tensions. We had overcome racism and some of the things in the past several years before, but people still stood on business when it was like, what are we doing here, right? The old way, because there were a couple other shows at the same time as this that are exactly opposite. $100 million. We just got him to 100.
Oh,
we need an applause. We need an applause.
Hold on.
We
hold
hit
on.
1,500. Yeah.
great job.
Still support all you guys. You guys are doing a great job. All the tribes. I'm still support. Kenneth, thank you so much. Hey, Real Life Perspective Show. Colin and Jason. Jason, I think I've introduced you to Sean, but if you haven't, this is a guy that would click with your channels easily. He does a lot of 80s stuff. Real Life Perspective Show. Go over there and follow him. Make sure all you guys are best retro dad, Jack Torrance from The Shining, Kevin says. Well, we're doing TV today. We're doing TV, but that is a funny comment. But anyways, Drummond, good pick. You were taking off a Benjamin of mine. It was down the list, I'll admit. I do like the Different Strokes. But it wasn't one that was right at the forefront of me being talked about today. But I know why you picked him because he is a good dad. Like, it's a good pick. It's a great pick. Jason, Andy, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Mr. D. Yeah, you mentioned it. I mean, I love the show. I'm looking at the series right there on the DVD shelf. I just completed it maybe mid 2024, watched through it, and what a groundbreaking show. Great show. I loved the house. I loved the kids' rooms. Even though it wasn't like an 80s room where you could see like G.I. Joe stuff on the shelves, I still really, as a kid, I loved looking at their room. I would always, sometimes I would just like, when I rewatched it, I would pause their room and just look around.
What you talk about, Willis
and Arnold, when they shared a room together.
And wasn't Arnold like twice his age? Wasn't he much older?
I don't know. Was he old on the show? I'm not sure. He might have been the same age. I'm not sure if he was double, but yeah, and that just brings up this will be a tough topic because a lot of the people that we're going to talk about, somebody from the show or the person themselves isn't here. And there's no sadder cast, than the Different Strokes cast. I mean,
absolutely.
Manny loves the wall behind you.
Come join the
Jason.
channel, Manny's Arcade.
Yeah. Colin just hit the Benjamins before the Benjamins.
Colin.
Colin, well deserved for 100 and counting.
Benjamin,
And,
he hit 100 before the. Okay, I was trying to translate.
David dropped his top 4. This is a good pick. I saw
Danny
up
Tanner
a little ways. Barry dropped his top 4 as well. And many of the same are on this list. That number 4 right there, Dave, that's a controversial one, but I love it.
Big pick.
Jay McClintock, I love the pick. Jay McClintock and Michael Maybaum, the dad from Good Times Dynamite. Yeah.
Maybaum is here? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Michael Maybaum.
Interesting. Okay. Friend of mine.
So, good. Well, welcome to the channel, guys. I will throw over some bones in a little bit. So, Andy, do you know much about Drummond?
Yeah, so I was gonna say, I remember this. I don't think this came on Nick at Night, but it was definitely in. Maybe it was Nick at Night. I don't remember where I watched it, but I watched enough of it to like. I mean, obviously, you know what you're talking about, Willis and all that kind of stuff. That's classic. But one thing I was gonna say about this, and I know we're gonna talk about it a lot tonight. Might as well just do it right off the bat. One of the beautiful things about these '80s TV shows, especially like family oriented, which a lot of them were, was the fact that as I'm looking through lists or whatever, it's like some of these dads are bad dads, some of them are good dads, some of them are whatever. There's kind of range in between. But there was always like really serious episodes. You know what I mean? Like these ones that were like, it would be like funny and, it's all comedy and it's like somebody has cancer. Or like, you know what I mean? Like something really deep and you're like, oh my gosh, this is. And
those are.
That's known in the have that happen. And one of the things, and Kirk, you love this show, and it's not a retro show, so it's not going to count tonight. But the Goldbergs is obviously a
Dude,
kind of a riff
he would be
on
my number one pick.
these shows.
Yeah. I almost picked him just because his show is about retro.
2013, so it doesn't technically count for a couple years. But what I will say is that's one of those things where it's like no matter how good or bad the dad is, there's always this moment where it's like they sit down with son or whatever, and it's a real dad moment. So I love it. I love this in different stripes,
Music Man Zoso. Hey guys, I finally made it. Chris.
Good friend of mine.
Welcome in. And Prime is in the house. Cliff Huxtable. This brings up also something. We're not talking necessarily about the actor. We're talking about the actual character.
Character.
Cliff Huxtable. Victor
Separate the art from the
Newman.
artist.
My grandmother would have said Victor Newman. Will Tanner and Dr. Jason Seaver. Prime One, thanks for being here, buddy. We love you to death. And oh yeah. We're talking Prime One, what's up, bro? And Al
4 touchdowns Bundy.
Yes, sir. So let's get into this, man.
Way to start off the mountain, Colin.
Way to start us off hot. You said somebody, who is it? Music Man Zoso. I'm throwing you a bone. So Jason, you're up, man. You're up. First one's Drummond.
Yeah.
Now,
Fat Boys, thank you.
What were you thinking? Oh man, hey, listen. Never expect it, but always overwhelmed when it happens. I'm gonna look over here on the channel side and see who got those. Let's see who got those. Dan's Comic Corner, The Ultimate Jester, Crafts by Bethany, Charlie Bitty Bites, of course, your boy, and Dave Gagwani. Wow, Dave's been a guy on our channel forever. That's going to be really cool to see him come back. Thanks for dropping those down. That's just awesome. Thanks, Fat Boy. You are amazing. Let's get this into Jason. Jason, what was your criteria?
Oh my!
I kind of figure it's 80s, but what else were you thinking?
Well, yes and no. Yeah. So I mean, look, I love how modern parents say, the television is raising my kid and it's a babysitter. I embrace that. I am proud to have been raised and babysat by television. 80s television, childhood television is so special to me. I've collected DVD television shows on DVD. The guy over there in the other corner has contributed 10, 15 other sets to me. I've got so much television to watch. I love 80s television. And I love 80s dads. I love them more than ever because I am a dad. And my criteria was just when I watch the shows today through adult eyes, do I connect with the father? Do I appreciate the father's approach to parenting? Does the father make me laugh? Is the father soft? Is he warm? Is he comforting? Is he also a disciplinarian to some degree? So all of that went into the criteria, for picking my top four. Fatherly episodes of TV shows of the past will break me down to tears. I have teared multiple times at specific episodes of the Wonder Years because of the father-son interaction, of Leave It to Beaver because of the father-son interaction, and Family Ties. I mean, I just love it. I love the father-son interaction. It's just powerful. I love it.
Yeah, everything. I totally agree. There's definitely those episodes where you're like, yeah, this, especially as a dad, right? For sure.
Sure.
So get us started. You're Rosie.
Yeah.
On your mountain. Where are we going?
Well, I'll tell you this. I had my list picked out. It was all picked out. Not giving anything away, but two of my dads were not 80s dads. And, I was consulting with a good, close personal friend of mine here locally. And he said, yeah, you can't do that. You got to put them in the honorable mentions list. So I did. I removed them, but we'll talk about them later. So my number 4 was a bit of a scramble because my list changed. But when I came up with my number 4, I was very confident about it. It wasn't a desperate pick. It's the right pick. My number 4 is Danny Tanner.
Yes.
Full House.
Yes.
I mean, wow. The guy is raising 3 daughters after the season 1, episode 1 death of his wife. He moves in a couple of buddies, and we got 3. And you know what? It's to me, it's a because moms have been a thing, since the beginning of time. It's been about the moms. Full House was like, hey, the dads can do this too, and we can raise 3 daughters, and they can be good kids. And I love the wholesomeness of Full House. It's the cheesiest show ever, but I watched it with my 13-year-old a couple of years ago, and he was glued. We would do 4 or 5 episodes a night. I love Full House. I still laugh at the cheeseball jokes, but I think Danny Tanner just kills it. He's a nerdy dad. He's goofy. He's silly, and I love him. I love Danny Tanner. And Bob Saget, rest in peace. Sad story there, but Danny Tanner is my number 4.
Dude, I love this pick. But Jason, before we jump out of that into something else, Music Man Zoso says, I can vouch that Jason's a good dad. His kids are awesome. Definitely learned from TV dads of the past.
Man Zozo has met my children. He's hung out with them, so he's a good guy.
Silver spoons. My dad didn't know how to play with us. 20 like hype. I can't forget about Walter Powell from Charles in Charge. Number 1, Jack Arnold from the Wonder Years. Number 2, Andy Taylor, Andy Griffith. Good picks. Carl Winslow, and number 4, Charles Angels from Little House on the Prairie. Wow.
Oh, good one. Those are deep.
Great pick, says Isaac. Hey, I love this pick. We lost Colin. Hopefully he comes back.
Hold on. Nope.
But it's okay. Do what you have to do. And then there he is.
There he is.
I love this pick. You honestly have taken, if it wasn't my number 5, it was my 6. It was in a short list of next man up, which it seems like he was a next man up for you.
Yeah.
But great pick. Full House is amazing. I love the whole story. And also, he had a little bit of help. He had John Stamos in there. He had, what's his uncle?
Uncle Danny.
Uncle Dan. Yeah, so all the guys in there, they all kind of made like one big dad. Really?
Wow.
Because that's kind of what it's based around. It was like kind of this guy raising his kids with two other guys helping him, and then it's just kind of like the Full House, right? And man, what a staple show of my like high school ish, like middle school ish times. And so this is a good pick. I like it.
Two things about that real quick. I know we're not talking theme songs, but potentially one of the greatest theme songs of all time. Opening sequences, right? The whole deal, everything about that is just fantastic. But secondly, he was going to be for sure in my top 4, but I changed everything, and I'll talk about it in a little bit. So he got bumped out. So you did take a Benjamin away from me, but that's okay. I got a long list here, but great, excellent pick.
Hey, so Mr. Cleese is in the house. Love him. Great video game channel. Retro Rays says Fred Sanford, which that's a great pick. Mr. Cleese, let's go. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you. And our good friend Papa. Now, Papa and his son do a great channel. They open cards. Papa is he's at the Sox game. He lives in the Chicago area. And he is a great little channel. Go visit Papa and Baby Bear. They will be on the show, I think, October 16th. Only reason I know that is because I just messaged him today. We need to pick a topic. We need to nail that one out pretty quickly. We also need to nail out Hammy and Son. If you see him come by, we need to nail out his topic today. Hopefully.
He's celebrating Micah Parsons being a Packer.
Micah Parsons is now a Packer. And that is very interesting. And we could talk more about that next week, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I love this pick. Colin, you Full House guy?
Yes, that was a Friday night staple for me. You guys could probably help me out. Full House into Family Matters.
Full House
step by step. Full House Family Matters.
No, Full House
Step by step.
Full House was 8:00, and then I'm pretty sure it was Urkel, as we call it.
Can I do that?
Exactly, and then Step by Step was more like
wasn't Dinosaurs a part of that too?
Oh, Dinosaurs for a couple of seasons.
Not the mama.
Absolutely. Dinosaurs for Perfect Strangers was in that mix lineup for a little while.
Hey,
which I don't have, Colin.
Can I tell you, life was a lot better when we made fun of people for talking funny. Balky Bartholomew.
Who's in Larry Appleton?
Yeah, that was I loved Perfect Strangers, bro. I have
Perfect Strangers, thanks to the guy over there in the lower left-hand corner, my left.
Also, he was in Beverly Hills Cop. Aquel Foley.
Oh, we can't quote him in that one.
Yeah. we cannot. So still never understand how they chose Bob Saget after seeing his stand-up routines. That is so true.
Yes.
Listen,
He is
Bob
not a family
Saget
man.
No.
is cut from the same cloth as Robin Williams. On stage, in front of a camera, he could do just the most like wholesome of whatever. But to see him on stage in stand-up, do not bring your children. Do not bring your children.
What is that? Non-blue, it's called non-blue. He's working non-blue, but yeah, and that's part of the brilliance of the actor, because when he was in what was it? It was one of the Adam Sandler movies, and he dropped a famous line in one of the Adam Sandler.
Oh yeah,
I was obviously an adult.
Was that Anger Management?
Was that Anger Management or
where he was at like therapy,
like a support group, and he said something.
Yeah.
As an adult, I struggled.
Look how red I'm getting, dude. That was the funniest. I never forget. It's stuck in my brain forever.
Yeah, it hurt me to watch it. Like I was shocked. I was like, that Danny Tanner doesn't talk like that.
Oh my goodness! And then this
Unless
one
you watch
right here.
Stand up.
Unless
He was great in Half Baked.
raunchy.
That's another one.
No, that was
Half
Baked was when he was in the comedy.
Half Baked is the one you're thinking
Half
of.
Baked.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh goodness.
Yeah,
well,
it was that. It was
fun
that. It was
stuff.
Half Baked. Talking about Half Baked. Look, everybody's letting us know it's Half Baked. It's Half Baked. Yep. Half Baked. Dude, it's been a while since I Half Baked. The guy in
Abba
Half Baked.
Zabba, you my only friend.
The guy in Half Baked. His I can't think of his name, but his little stand up about AC/DC.
Jim Brewer.
Yeah.
Oh, Brewer.
Anyways, we're getting off track. But yeah, Danny Brewer. No, Danny Tanner, not Danny Brewer. Danny Tanner. Oh man, the Tanners. What a great pick. Full House. Look, this is what this is all about. Reminiscing some old stuff and just having a good time with friends. I love it.
Gonna go 4 hours.
Thank you. Hey, we always call this our nostalgic therapy, by the way. And thank you for being a part of it.
Retro solace.
Yeah. So, Andy, I think I'm up now, right?
Yes, it is you.
This is my last time being up. Got to talk to Samson. LOL. Yes. Hey, look, you guys said a lot about what I'm going to say about my criteria. The one thing I didn't hear you say, and this might be patting myself on my back. I do pride myself at being a good father, and not saying anybody here is not. And I kind of heard it a little bit with what you said, Jason. I did learn some really good skills from TV about being a good father. And my dad was an amazing dad. He just really was. And I really try and channel in my father and some of these great, like you see these shows and they're funny. Most of these shows are funny. And then you always get that one show. Somebody dies. It's a drug show. Somebody runs away. Somebody, having their first time in the back seat type thing. And it's always like mom and dad or whatever. And then dad shows up and basically takes off the whole comedy for a second and talks real. And I always remember those shows the most. And I kind of, when I'm doing my criteria, I was like, I think these guys are, well, most of them. There's one of them that's kind of off the rails, and that's just because he's my favorite. But the other three, if I was to like have somebody play me as a dad today, I probably would want these characters to kind of try and be me a little bit. Was kind of what I was thinking of in the whole list. And then I started picking them out. Now there's one that this first one fits that criteria, but one of them is just a favorite of mine. And one of them just reminds me of my dad quite a bit. And so I picked him. But my first one, I saw him in the chat earlier. Somebody said it. And actually I've seen 3 out of 4 of my picks, I think, in the chat. And I think somebody on the panel said my fourth. So everybody has kind of been mentioned that I'm going to say today. Let me pull my list up because I have some fun notes and see if we can. Let's see if we can channel my best energy towards retro TV dads tonight. So my first one, the show actually ran 1988 to 1997. It's been revived. One of the greatest scenes of the show, kind of talking about the tough one, was his sister-in-law gets whipped by her boyfriend, and he goes on over and he gets cuffed. That might give it away, but I'm going with Dan Connor. I'm going with Roseanne and John Goodman, man. And that show, I see it all the time, where she comes over, she's kind of gotten her little black eye or whatever, and she's screaming. Roseanne is kind of being her loud, obnoxious person, and kind of screaming whatever. And Dan walks out and is like, "What's going on?" "Oh, it's just, her boyfriend or whatever." And he just grabs his keys and nonchalantly walks out the door. And the pretty much next scene or whatever is the cops at the door, and he just stands up. He's like, "Let him in." And he just puts his hands out like this because he just went over and, whooped this guy down. And just really cool. Somebody mentioned him in the chat earlier. Love the show. It was so funny. Roseanne, I don't think as a show gets enough credit. It was in that time. She was just absolutely annoying, but the kids were hilarious. She was funny at times, but Dan, to me, took the whole show. He was so subtle and calm in the back. And I'm being honest, he is a lot like me and my family. There's a lot of things going on in my family. Whenever it gets kind of crazy or whatever, I'm usually kind of the one just chilling in the back, trying to just think it through and being like, what's the best thing? And then I throw my snide remark out and I just walk off and go, back in the day, I would just go have my beer, right? But now being 14 years, almost 15 years sober. Now it's go have my Coke Zero and, you know, go sit in the side and let things happen. Great dad. I would love to have John Goodman play me in anything. But this character, I just relate with him so well. The kids, just full on. This is like such 90s nostalgia. This is my high school time. So Roseanne, Dan, Connor is going to be my Rosie. And I did that on purpose. Rosie, Roseanne. There you go.
Oh, let's see if you're doing that the rest of it. Thomas Jefferson. You're doing the Jeffersons. That's going to be your next pick, so wait for it. I love this pick. John Goodman is a big New Orleans guy, although not born here. He's lived here since like the 80s. In fact, I was just looking up facts. You know that he bought his mansion in New Orleans from Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails? How cool is that of a fact? But he's been a big-time New Orleans guy.
Blues Brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's all a part of that.
I do love this, though. I think watching it as a kid, Roseanne turned me off to the show.
Exactly.
And there's elements of that show that are good. It's just not her voice. You know what I mean? It's the other things that are great.
You know, I think the Roseanne show was the first time that kids could relate to a family that sort of looked like theirs.
Yeah.
True.
There was not, you know, the Cosbys were wealthy and all the other sitcom shows, the family had a television show family. And Roseanne, when I was watching Roseanne, I was like, wait a minute, our kitchen kind of looks like that. And you know, my mom kind of acts like that. And we don't always do things the right way. And so I think Roseanne was just such a show that you could like.
It's so relatable.
You could relate to it because, yeah, it was so real. I mean, and honestly, I lost interest in the show when they won the lottery and got ran. You know, but to have the kids who are, you know, getting in trouble, I just thought it was such a real show. I love that show a million times over. I love Roseanne. Yeah,
and the voice is off-putting. But I will say this, I have watched it recently, and I say recently, like within the last 7 years or so, 8 years, when the Connors thing started to come back out, I went and rewatched a couple episodes. And if you can get by that, the show is exactly what you said. It's relatable. It's not like a lot of times when you watch these shows, it's so theater, like nobody's family looks like that or talks like that or is like that. But it is, and that was there. Cannon's supposed to do exercises now. That's what that alarm is. But anyways, Colin, you Rosie guy?
Well, I go last on Roseanne, and everything has been already said. Jason hit it on the head. You recognize the house. It's the scenarios and the storylines are completely relatable. It's not a rich mansion like the Fresh Prince or Different Strokes. On a quick side note, and I'll just throw this out now because I don't really have anything much more to say about Roseanne. You never noticed how most family sitcoms have the swinging kitchen door, and you've never seen that in any kitchen on earth? I'll just put that out there because we covered everything to do with Roseanne. But
now Jason is now
anywhere in anyone's house except on television, and they're everywhere on television.
You just wait. You have now put it in Jason's mind. In order to be a real 80s house, he needs a kitchen swinging door.
I mean, think about swinging doors and just go through the shows in your head.
I'll tell you
It was always in a saloon in an old western.
It's
the only time you see that.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Look at that. Full House's kitchen was. I never understood the layout. Never understood it. There's like
Full House swinging door.
Yeah, there's like stairs over here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And there was like, I don't know what's going on in their kitchen.
Also, yeah. A lot of these shows, Full House, you know, they're in these like tiny little townhomes, but when you open it up, it's like that doesn't fit in there. They have like 6 of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Drummond had a spiral staircase in the kitchen going up.
Yeah. What an unrealistic
My
layout.
grandmother still has swinging doors in her kitchen, Dave says.
Oh, what gold.
His grandmother is
I'm
Roseanne.
sorry,
He
sorry,
didn't let
Dave
us
Bryant
know.
Piano. I'm going to need photographic
Dave's
proof.
grandmother's Roseanne. That's
His
great.
grandmother is Roseanne, so still the only kitchen that's ever had it is Roseanne.
Retro Ray agrees with you, Jason. Lost interest when they won the lottery.
Oh yeah, that I mean, I want it. Well, they did keep the couch, but again, the relatableness, the ugly plaid couch with the grandmotherly knitted Afghan on the back. That's just how it was, and unless you had wealth, you had stains on your carpet, and you had crumbs on your kitchen counter, and you ate cereal for breakfast, and that. I don't know. I just love the Connors house.
I mean, I still eat cereal for every meal.
Well, sure.
Cereal is amazing. Matter of fact, I think we did cereal the episode right after your first episode. Cartoons, cereal and cartoons were back to back. All right. Well, Andy, finish our first round. An hour.
Yeah. So we are pushing this, but it's good. I love it because I knew that the conversation would be really good in this. So for my criteria, I'm going to change things up a little bit from you guys. Obviously I'm picking all dads, but I'm a 90s 2000s kid. I was born in 89. I certainly love these shows and these things that we're talking about, but a lot of that stuff was kind of like reruns, or you're seeing it at Nick at Night, or you're seeing it in these different kind of ways like that. So I'm going to go nostalgia for me. Like, these were in my childhood, like when I'm watching this stuff, and early adolescence. When I think nostalgia too, I think cartoons. So I picked 4 retro TV cartoon dads, is what I'm going to go with here.
Oh.
And if you know me, this is kind of, none of these are going to come as a surprise now that that's my criteria. Kirk can, with the exception of maybe my Rosie, you're probably going to guess all of mine. My Rosie was tough, Colin, exactly like you had said. It always is. When I switched it to cartoons, that's when I took out the Danny Tanners and all the these great ones. I certainly agree with, but wanted to change it up a little bit. So for my Rosie, I'm going to, and in fact, I got 2 Nickelodeons today. This is going to be my first Nickelodeon one.
Shocker.
Yeah, I know. Right, exactly. I'm going to go to what I believe is one of the most severely underrated Nicktoons. Not in that early run of like Doug, Hey Arnold, Rugrats, all that kind of stuff. Like, those are great ones, Ren and Stimpy, those types of things. But a little bit later, late 90s into the early 2000s time, I'm going with Raymundo Rocket from Rocket Power. He is going to be my Rosie. Now, let me tell you a little bit about him. He is kind of an he's a dad, but he's a single dad. His wife passed away, so he's got these kids. 2 kids of his own, but he's basically parenting these other, like, all the neighborhood kids, right? All these skaters and things. He's an old surfer. He runs a little restaurant. I say restaurant, but it's kind of like a shack up there on the beach. But there's a couple reasons why I picked him. Obviously, it's the underrated thing, TV show there for me when it comes to Nicktoons. But also, there's a lot about Raymundo that reminds me of my dad. I've shared it on here before. My dad is from Southern California originally. He is a skater back in the day, surfer back in the day. So, like, I saw a lot of that when I was watching this. Like, wow, this looks like my dad. He balded on the top, so he just had the ring around, just like my dad, who still has that. And that's how my hair naturally goes too. So genetics, right? But kind of reminding me of that stuff. But seeing how, kind of like the Danny Tanner, right? Like, he's kind of unfortunate circumstances, and now he has to raise these kids. He's strict at times, but he sometimes, to teach a lesson, he does it the hard way. He lets them learn the hard way. So there's a lot of good things that you see in that. And another thing too about some of my criteria is that I see a lot of things in these dads, and we've mentioned it, where it's like you try to do some of these things, right? It's kind of one of those things where you're like, man, if I could do that, right? And the way that he teaches lessons a lot in that stuff too. He's got a good friend Tito, and I just thought it'd be cool to. I have this like weird retirement dream that when I retire, I just want to open up a little breakfast place on the beach somewhere. And my wife and I have agreed that that's kind of our retirement plan. And it reminds me a lot of what Raymundo Rocket did. So for my Rosie, I'm going to Rocket Power, Raymundo Rocket as my retro TV dad.
Good night, Papa. Music Man says Rocket Power was amazing.
There you go.
And Kevin says he just howdy. 3 good nerds just landed our topic with 3 good nerds. By the way, Justin, I'm bringing on another Justin Banks. He's going to come on the show with us. We're doing top 4 rivalries, Andy. Yeah, it's going to be fun in sports. But welcome, 3 good nerds. We love you.
Also, real quick, Raymundo Rocket. Just for those that don't know, was voiced by the same voice actor that did the Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Crypt.
Oh,
believe
wow.
that. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, same
Hey,
exact voice actor.
Justin that I'm bringing on is the PE teacher at the school that I'm at. So he's been on once before. He did running backs. He wants to come on again. I think rivalries will be great. And some 2 Justins. So we'll have 2 Justins. Anyways, Raymundo Rocket Power is a fantastic cartoon. I didn't watch it enough. This is at the late run of Nickelodeon. My birthday's tomorrow, by the way.
Hey.
And Andy, your birthday was 2 weeks ago. You made 36. I'll be making 47. So I'm about 11 years older than you. When you were watching this, I was in a whole nother world doing things that I shouldn't have been doing. So I didn't watch a whole lot of Rocket Power, but I do know it. And I do appreciate it. But I don't know Raymundo well enough to speak on him. I just know this cartoon's really cool. So I bet this is a cool character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And do you guys have any thoughts on it? Do you know? I mean, I know this is like 99, so.
Yeah, 99. I was no, I
99. I had just got to New Mexico, in the Air Force.
There you go.
Nicole Ruiz, hello everyone. I'm back. Well, welcome back from outer space.
What do we got?
Yeah.
What's the total viewership?
Right now, we're at 18.
18. Where's the triple D? This isn't.
Also, Raymundo Rocket, the voice actor, was the same voice actor as Miko, the raccoon.
We were at 32 was the highest I thought I saw. 32.
Yeah. Okay.
So we were about 10 off. Now we kind of ducked down. You guys hang around. 42 is the record. Shoot a message out to all your friends. Don't go nowhere. And let's get that number back up. Hey, Colin, do you know Raymundo?
No, never heard of the cartoon or the man, but I was looking him up online to see if I could relate in any way to him, and I cannot. So I'll just say that my birthday was 2 weeks ago as well. So
there you go.
Hey, so y'all have the same birthday?
What's your birthday?
August 17th over here.
Yeah, I'm 11. I'm 11th.
17th
so mine was really like 3 weeks
is my
ago.
sister's birthday. Hey, are you an August birthday too, Jason? No, you're not.
No, I'll be 50.
In September? Is it September?
I'll be 50.
Just throwing out the age.
In May.
May. So I make 47.
Well, I'm older.
Oh, look, Justin's August 10th. Let's go. Well, I'm not a Leo. I'm a Virgo, if we're talking that, because I'm on the back end of August. So, anyways, Raymundo Rocket. Good pick. And us old guys don't have anything to say. But
I got nothing to say.
You're going to know the rest.
That's why I love this so much, because Andy brings his era to every single episode that I've been a part of. And it's just so cool to see his perspective on things. I love it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so we're round 2. Now we don't need to do criteria. We can just jump in it. Different strokes first time for different folks. Colin, who's your third person on the mountain? Second list today. Freedom Sufferer cards. I said. Hey, greetings from the Netherlands.
Netherlands. That's what I'm talking about.
Freedom Sufferer cards. I've seen this guy in the chats before. Welcome on in. Maiko says, I'll be 51 in April.
Ooh.
So, nice. Welcome on in, Freedom Sufferer. Oh, look who's in the chat, ladies and gents. Ben Ventura.
Oh, there he is.
Nash
Yeah.
Ventura enjoying the show and seeing a screen of icons. Hey, let's book you. Hey, look, we're back to 27. That was quick. Nobody go anywhere.
Strike while the iron's
Nobody go
hot.
anywhere. We are 15 away from the record. 15. Don't go anywhere. Stay. 15. 15.
Okay, Colin.
Go, Colin.
Okay,
You're up.
real quick. Freedom Sufferer Cards. He's with me. Went to high school with him, and just for weirdness, he's August 16th birthday. But enough of that.
Come on.
My girlfriend.
Hey,
just
well,
messaged me
Freedom
and
Sufferer,
says-
you're now a part of the family, and we need to send you this real quick. And everybody else that's new in the chat, welcome to the Summit Squad.
Okay.
Now, you're up, Colin. Tell
My
us
apologies
all
if I
about
talked
your
over
next
anything.
pick.
My apologies. Okay, number 3. When I was a kid, I collected TV shows to the point where I would tape them on VHS tapes.
Yes,
I
we
think
all did.
Some of us might have done that as well. And this was one of them that I meticulously labeled. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's Leave It to Beaver. It's Hugh Beaumont, and it's Ward Cleaver. He's my number 3. Again, I'm assuming most people say this 1, 2, and 3. It's hard to get them in order, but any of the 3 could have gone in any order. But he fell on number 3. Just his reaction to when Beaver just did the most unbelievable whatever Beaver got up to just is amazing. And also the way he handled it and the way he, I guess, kept his composure throughout. But yeah, Ward Cleaver, number 3 for me. Hugh Beaumont.
Nice.
I only have a little
going
bit
back.
Andy, you got something?
I'm just saying this is going far back. 1957.
Yeah.
Was
Leave It
how
to
about
Beaver
that?
is probably, if you talk about wholesome goodness on television, this was considered it. Yeah, man. So I watched a lot of Leave It to Beaver.
But I will say, for I did watch the movie that came out in 97, and you had Christopher McDonald played Ward Cleaver. So that's a good one right there. I can relate more to that.
Ward Cleaver. I could speak on it a little bit because I watched Nick at Night a lot, and it was Mr. Ed, it was Car 54, Where Are You? It was The Honeymooners. It was My Three Sons, which is another particularly good pick, and it was Leave It to Beaver. And Andy, we're looking at the garage or something. What's happening? I don't know what Andy's doing, but hopefully, yeah. Anyways, let's remove that. There, like that. Boom. And anyways, good pick. I think this is a great pick. I didn't think this would happen today, just because you guys are like such 80s guys. But it makes sense because in the 80s, this was still big. It was still big. People talked about it, and good show. He was definitely a great dad. If you're talking about let's handpick a father that you might want to kind of teach you the ropes.
Yep.
This is right there. This is right there for sure.
Yeah, Leave It to Beaver. You know, I've got 2 or 3 favorite shows of all time. So I've got 3 at number 1. And again, you know, feet to the fire to pick my favorite show of all time. It's so close between. I mean, there's 3. There's Dallas, there's The Wonder Years, and then there's Leave It to Beaver. If I had to choose, and really, really had to choose, I would choose Leave It to Beaver as my favorite show of all time. We'll talk about Ward Cleaver later, but I don't want to give it away. I don't want to say too much about Ward.
Hey, you're a pro at this show now.
That's right.
Way to do that.
Nicole says, I want to say I barely got back from baseball games and drinks, milkshakes, and strawberry ones, and I like it. Well, awesome, Nicole. Thanks for being here. The Wonder Years was so good. Fred Savage, awesome. And those are that's some high-level shows you just mentioned there, Jason. I'm curious, you had to take somebody off and put it into your honorable mentions. Was it Ward Cleaver?
Yeah.
Oh man, so you took it right out from under him, Colin. Took it right from out from under him. So you can't have that for an honorable mention now. But
Great minds think alike.
the great
Well,
pick.
I'll tell you, Ward Cleaver, until I changed my format and kept it 80s, Ward Cleaver was going to be my number one dad. I mean, I love him so much.
The George of dads. There he is. There he is, Ward Cleaver. Because he is an excellent dad. He really is. And that is perfect. So, Jason, now that you've kind of moved things around, who's going to be in your three hole now?
My three
Still
hole.
Still at 27.
My three hole. My 1, 2 again. We're old veterans of the show, but my 1, 2, and 3 easily could have been. We could swap out for places. This is a favorite show of mine. It is many episodes are tearjerkers. The finale is too difficult to watch. I loved this father just because he was. The whole family's mindset. One of the characters lives on his own little planet, but the family itself just has these cool, like, laid back fundamentals that kind of transferred over from the 70s, and they kept it going into the 80s. I love the relationship between mother and father. So Stephen Keaton from Family Ties is my number 3 dad. Again, very relatable, kind of a flannel shirt type of dad. Again, I just look at the way he interacts with his kids, the way he interacts with his spouse. I know it's television, but I look at like, is he a good provider? Is he doing the dad thing? And the fundamentals on their end. You got their sort of, I mean, not to make it political, but you got their sort of liberal, hippie 70s views, and you got their son, Alex P. Keaton, who's, head of the Young Republicans Club, and how they interact and how father and son interact with completely different viewpoints on life. And I just love Michael Gross in general. I just think he's, just such a normal guy. And I love him. I love Stephen Keaton, and I love Family Ties.
So one of the, it might have been, I don't know, maybe probably about 2 years ago, you kind of went on a Family Ties kick. I think you got, I remember you like, we're going to start this up. Where you watched several seasons in a row. And I remember going, man, I would love to watch Family Ties. And then you did Growing Pains, I think, as well.
Right.
Yeah. And just a couple of those. So when I thought about who you were going to pick today, this was high up the list.
Yeah.
This was like, I wonder. Michael J. Fox, Andy mentions him in the chat, the girl dad. What a great icon of the 80s. But now he is, he's like fighting this disease, which is really cool to kind of see him kind of transform into the type of kind of celebrity he is. Michael J. Fox was Alex P.
I was hoping you'd get that.
Lyric of all time.
Well, yeah, and I got, I think I'll make a suggestion for a future show that myself and Colin would like to be a part of. I think we should do the top 4 sitcom moments. Because
that's good.
A lot of these discussions, and when I was putting thought into my top 4, I was thinking of the show and the dad and the actor, but I was also thinking about very specific moments that rocked me as a kid, and more so as an adult. And
the George is well established for me.
For that
greatest sitcom moment of all time.
Sure, right.
If it's not, you're wrong.
I have to be right. I mean, it's clear. Anyway,
I'm pretty sure I'm on the same board as you.
Sure. While we've been talking, I've been reminiscing about certain moments, certain Ward Cleaver moments that literally bring me to tears still. Even Stephen Keaton moments. There's moments in the show I don't want to take away from
New
a few
Kids on the Block had a bunch of hits.
Oh yeah, those guys.
Yeah. Leather Fox, he is a good actor and sees it on movies, calls back to the future, the first one and the second one and the third one. Nicole, you're so true. You're so true. We're at 28, by the way. And this is a good pick. I do like Michael Gross. I was actually looking him up. I feel like I liked him in a couple other either TV shows or movies.
Tremors.
I couldn't remember what it was. So, I mean, Tremors. A lot of Tremors. Yeah. That was good. That's good.
So Colin and I were at a Comic-Con where Michael Gross was, and unfortunately,
Oh wow, he was in Cool as Ice, Andy.
Oh,
Yes, he was.
Wow.
Yeah, he was in Cool as Ice.
Huge regret today not meeting Michael Gross that day, but he was commanding a very hearty price, and I had to spread the wealth.
That's a good topic you bring up, and we could sidetrack and be gone forever. But I'll just throw this out there. I heard you say it one day, not long ago, Jason. You're on your way to a convention, and there were some people there that you really wanted to get an auto from, and the price was like $100 and something, and you're like, "This is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that." And I just sit back and I think, "Gosh, how hard up do you have to be as an actor?" And this is no disrespect, seriously, because I'm not an actor, that you have to charge somebody $100 to get your autograph when you made like $1 million off of the show. So you want $100 from just nobodies? I think it's kind of weird. But being in the conventions, I see this happen time in and time out. So I don't normally go and get their autos. I'm like, no, I'll take a picture with you for what's the free things on this list? Cool, that's what I want.
Yep. I'm not doing autographs anymore.
My gosh. Hey, look, I'm going to just tell you, Jason, you introduced me to this show, and this is the first time he's been in our chat, and I absolutely this might be the best channel on the internet. I no disrespect to the two on board.
Well,
if you haven't watched the cassette phase and his production value, and just it's almost like watching Mr. Rogers tell you about the 80s.
Perry
is
amazing. Good guy. Perry, the cassette phase, I just love it. And every once in a while, every couple of weeks or every couple of months, I will just remind people of guys like him and Colin and 80s movie den and Smash and guys like you guys. It's such a fun little family and fun little group that we've all started developing this niche. I Had That is I've been talking about him lately. Yeah, but Perry you see the show and you're like, because people have told me before I die, I've got to visit the cave. I want to go sit in Perry's den and watch a cartoon with him
by the ottoman.
I want to sit on the ottoman. Yeah. Perry's a sweetheart. He's a great guy. I love him, and that's a great show. I'm glad he's here.
Ben Ventura says, love it. Roxanne, Cliff Huxtable. So just letting you know, we're not talking about the person that played him as much, but more so the dad.
They were back up to 32.
32. We are 10 away, ladies.
10 away from tying the record. Come on,
10 away. Don't go anywhere.
Invite your
friends in. These guys want to break the record. The record is 42 at this number right here. So, all right. So great pick, Colin. You just went. So it's my turn, huh? Shoot.
Yes.
I wasn't ready. Yeah, I wasn't ready. I'm too busy chatting. But let's do this. So this next pick, I told you most of these I relate.
That's your signal. Now you can go.
That's so good. Hey, Cassette Phase, you're welcome here anytime. We would love to collab with you for sure. We'd love to have you on the show and vice versa. Whatever, man. I'm so excited that you're here. So I mentioned earlier that I kind of relate to some of these dads. I don't relate to this dad at all. 0 bits. Matter of fact, I probably relate more to his son because this guy reminds me of my dad. This guy reminds me of my dad so much. And I remember watching the show with my dad, and he just crying, thinking it's so funny. I think I get a little bit of my sense of humor from my dad. But this guy was a great comedian, fantastic comedian. But here, this show aired 72 to 77. 72 to 77. And I'm going with Frederick G. Sanford. I saw him in the chat. Sanford and Son. Oh my gosh. Oh, dude. I mean, I can't not relate to him at all. Like, he is such a funny, but he's like a widowed dad, right? Raising Lamont, right? And they've got the business, and it's like a junkyard, and just the comedy value. It's one of those kind of like at that time, right? You had kind of your African American black shows. You mentioned the Jeffersons. And I saw Good Times in the chat, and Cliff Huxtable's been mentioned, but you kind of had like that section of the world, and then you had like the Family Ties of the world, right? And so this was on the other side, and at that time, right? Because there was definitely a delineation, and every time it came on TV, my dad would stop, we'd watch, and the him telling his son. Like him back and forth and just kind of arguing in the comedic value. To me, this is my dad. This is my dad all over again. So much wisdom in his comedy. It's kind of over the top, but man, Sanford and Son, by far, number 3. Yeah, Fred Sanford, Red Fox, man. Red Fox is an American treasure. Or was an American treasure, and just a great sarcastic, slapstick, funny, just everything. Elizabeth, I mean, dude, there's so many comedic moments in the show. I'm going with Frederick G. Sanford for my Jefferson, and that's about as close as I'm going to get because the Jeffersons, right? But I like the Jeffersons, but not nearly as much.
Yeah. So it's funny. I mean, obviously, again, similar with different strokes. Like I've seen this in the rerun phase and everything. But when you say Red Fox, anybody remember from Family Guy? They do the Star Wars parodies, and it's like Red Eagle coming in, Red One coming in, Red Fox come in, and it's Red Fox and like an X-wing or whatever. You got to watch that. It's a fun little, one of those funny little cut scenes in Family Guy. But yeah, Sanford and Son.
Nicole, we love you in here. What do you mean? We love you. We love you. You're hanging out. You're telling us about baseball. 32 in the chat. Malcolm's dad, obviously, Red Fox was amazing. I'm coming, Elizabeth. Yo, 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 yo. We are not moving to Harbor Walk. Why don't I remember that, Nicole? Maybe I didn't mention. I don't know. Love Sanford and Son. I was watching some old episodes recently. It's crazy what they allowed on TV back then. Golden age of comedy. You're absolutely right, Kevin. And Kevin, you're probably the only person on this whole panel that's met my dad. And he was so much like Fred Sanford. So, yeah. 5 across your lips is what Retro Ray said. But anyways, you guys below, you guys like old Fred?
Absolutely.
I don't have a lot of experience. Sanford and Son was one of those shows that I've seen clips of on TBS at various times of the day, and I never indulged.
It's a great song. It's a great intro. It's a great intro.
Nicole, I'm only 34. That's okay. I mean, cool. LOL. Willie, my man. Yeah. So, Colin, you said you like Fred?
I'm down with some Sanford and Son. I'll give you the fun facts. Fred Sanford is named after Red Fox's brother, who died in '65. Also, in the 40s, Red Fox was friends with Malcolm Little, who became Malcolm X. So,
wow.
I'll drop the fun facts all up in your face.
Oh,
boom.
Yeah. Colin, hook Jason up with some Sanford and Son series is what Retro Ray says.
That can be done in about 8 seconds.
In the mail.
Lester
No,
will get on it. Lester
All right.
ships out.
In a personal visit, not in the mail.
Guys are going to miss me a while. I moved. I'm sorry about that, Nicole. Factoids for days. Yep. He's got factoids. That's for sure. Andy,
Yeah.
let's get to halftime. About
Perhaps
20 minutes late.
Perhaps the most iconic one on my list. I know we love that word. You may be surprised.
You're talking about cartoons and iconic. There's only one that you can possibly say.
You might be surprised that he's at the TJ, but it is what it is. The other two you'll see for specific reasons. I'm going to go with. I mean, I've talked about this show ad nauseum. I've talked about it plenty, and this in any context that we can bring this show up, I'm going to bring it up. I debated putting him on there because he's not a good dad. Well, I say that he physically abuses his children, so
but
I'm not.
But he's your favorite dad. Come on.
But he's just iconic when it comes to TV, and I'm going. No! I'm going Homer Simpson. You got to put him on the list. I mean, The Simpsons, one of the greatest, longest-running shows of all time. I will say this, for as not ideal of his dad as he is, he's probably been the most consistent through the years. You know what I mean? We want to rag on it and everything, and he's got his moments for sure. He does, but he's still, I'm going to get you. And he starts choking Bart out and stuff. And anyway, but I got to go with The Simpsons. There was a long time in my life when I was we were watching The Simpsons every week. I mean, the annual Treehouse of Horror stuff is fantastic.
I feel like Jason mentioned the Treehouse of Horrors in our cartoons. Didn't you mention that?
Maybe when we did with somebody else, we talked about Halloween specials or something.
Yeah, I know it wasn't me. It probably wasn't me.
Yeah, but I got to go Homer Simpson. I mean, he's just classic. He could not make my list tonight, especially when I moved it to Cartoon Dads. He had his way in easily.
So we're 9 away, by the way, to the list, or the 9 away to the championship there, Colin. 9. Nobody go anywhere. We need 9 to tie, 10 to take the lead. So here's the deal. I know Homer Simpson was going to be on your list today. I just knew it. He's probably the most iconic 80s, over 90s, 2000s, still around guy. Tracy Ullman Show, that whole jazz. I knew it so much that this is the music that I used to Instagram post, because usually if you've been around long enough, whatever Kirk plays for the music is probably not on his list. So I just give a little love to something I might
Kirk,
think happened.
you are not.
But I played the Simpsons
you've
today
been open
for our show. And
I was just Kirk. You've been open about it.
I'm openly honest that
an adult
cartoons. Well, not adult cartoons, because I don't like adult cartoons. That's for sure. But adult-directed cartoons, cartoons like Family Guy, Simpsons. Simpsons is the best one to me. But Family Guy, Futurama, The Cleveland Show, Great American Dad, all of those, South Park, they're not for me. They're just not. They're not for me. Simpsons is the best. That's the one I watch the most. Family Guy's absolutely second. If I'm watching anything else, it's probably a little bit of Family Guy. All the rest, if I never watch them, it's okay. It's okay. Including South Park. I don't really like South Park at all. But I kind of knew this was going to be on here because he is iconic. One of the longest, if not the longest running TV show ever, right? Something like that. I think so. Yeah. So good pick. Good pick. I mean, he's still around now, and he was around when we were a kid. So that's pretty cool. That's really cool. Freedom Sufferer says, I'll stay for 5 more minutes and catch up on the rest in the stream ASAP. Hey, man, thanks for even being here. Thanks for hanging out with your bud. We're almost to halftime. Once we get some commentary on Homer, we're at halftime. Oh, we're at 34? Wow. All right, Colin. Jason.
Yeah.
What's your Homer Simpson?
Colin, hit it.
What is there left to say about Homer Simpson? I'd like to hear more of Andy's impression of Homer. I thought that was spot on.
Andy, FYI, for all you in the cheap seats in the back, Andy is an aspiring voice actor. He would that is a dream of his.
Well,
He's very
aspiring in the
good.
sense of it's an idea. That's as far as
He's
I've
very
aspired
good. He is
so far.
very good. He is very good. He is very good.
Well, I had no friends growing up, and I would just sit in front of a TV and copy everything that happened on TV. So that's where it all started. And yeah, that was pretty much it.
Hey, I love this comment from Sean.
Yeah,
Hey
sorry.
guys, keep it down. I'm trying to play Donkey Kong 64. Get down. Get down in front. That's
Here you go. Here you go, Sean. Here's your controller. Here you go.
subbed up the real life perspective. Oh, speaking of that, hey guys, the likes we're at 32. Somebody just mentioned in the chat. Go hit those likes before you head out. Drop your top 4. On Instagram, we will do a vote on who had the best dad. So if you ever want to go show up over on Instagram and see, Tony Maselli and Alan Matthews are both available for draft here in this Roxanne. Good picks. And obviously, if you like what we do, we're jumping into sports next week, but we do sports, movies, TV, music, video games, and nostalgia and food. So those are the things. Homer Simpson, anything else you want to mention on Homer? Homer? Go!
Love the Simpsons. Love them.
Go! Love the Simpsons. Go! There you go. Hey, let's do halftime. Let's do halftime. Let's do halftime. So, Andy, we're talking retro, so let's do our buddies at Retro Rewind Podcast in a minute. But before we do that, a couple updates. Let me move over because you have to. Let's move over. A couple things. I'm working on a website, guys. That website's going to be out soon. It's going to be where you can find all of our stuff. It's going to be where you can find our new episodes, our new devotions, our books, our merch. We've got a lot of things that are coming out. You can find us on at all the conventions we're going to. We are now up to, I think, 8 or 9 conventions that we possibly will be at in a year, which is crazy. Andy's got some great news that he's heard over the last few weeks with his lead pastor, as well as just us hearing from the Lord over the last few weeks or months and years, and where we're going to go with Reboot, the ministry that's below him. That ministry is the ministry where we go to conventions and we get an opportunity to be in booths next to all of the riffraff of people selling everything from soap, literally soap, to 3D printed things and all kinds of stuff, video games, baseball cards, Pokemon, stuffed animals. And then we have our little booth of Andy, are you just going noise after noise? What's happening?
I'm not doing any.
Nothing. Not doing anything. But here's the thing. We get invited and we get to do ministry. And that ministry has led us to do a secondary part of our channel, which we wanted to give. We started a new Instagram. Please go and like and follow. It's called The Reboot Unconventional Ministry. That Instagram is out. I can't really touch it right now because Instagram right off the bat kind of was like mad at me. So it told me I can start playing with it again on Saturday. We'll start messing with it again on Saturday, but you can go and follow that right now at Reboot Unconventional Ministry. Nicole said she wants to talk about broccoli. Okay. Liking broccoli. Okay. So here's the deal. That is all about what we got coming up. I'm still working on the devotion. My plan is to have that devotion out by Christmas. I got a lot of work to do left to do it. And I feel like I can get at least one of them out because I want us, Andy and I, we're going to start doing what's called bread bites. Bread bites are short, couple minute clips that you'll see on our Instagram and whatever. And the ones I would like to do personally will probably have to do with the devotion. I'll do some of the devotion straight up. And are you guys fans of Retro Rick? We are fans of Retro Rick. Yes, we are. Channel blew up big time. Yes, cassette face. I'm absolutely friends with Retro Rick. I'm fans of Retro Rick. I haven't met him yet, but we are going to be at Siege next year, Southeast Gaming Exchange, and we're going to be preaching at Southeast Gaming Exchange, which is the biggest video game convention on the East Coast. We're at 34 now, ladies and gentlemen. We're moving up. Moving up. Come on, let's go. Let's go. 42. And with that being said, Retro Rick is there every year. So I hope to meet him. Some of the guys that's been on our channel are all friends with him. So yes, we would love to meet him. and have him on our show. But we have like Square Pegs coming on in a few weeks. He's friends with him. We had Mort. Matter of fact, when we got to 42, Mort was on the channel. Mort is probably the best video game channel out there. He's very similar to you, Cassette Phase, in my opinion, as far as content. And so anyways, we get to preach at these conventions. Be on the lookout for our new Instagram, our new programming with Bread Bites, our devotional, and all the things that we've got coming up on the website. Andy, tell them about our friends Culture Box, which is over your head. That is a group of friends that they're all Christian creators, and we'd love to share at least one of them with you today.
Yeah, check out our friend Francisco and Paul J. Powers over at the Retro Rewind Pod.
Every other week, join the Retro Rewind Pod as they travel back 15 or more years along the entertainment space-time continuum in their mission to review movies and games, establishing what is still worth your time today. Expect fun banter and trivial insights from Francisco, Paul, and rotating guest hosts who are all out of time.
I don't know why that's on there. That was an accident. But yeah, so there's our Retro Rewind Pod guy. Also, hey, look, we have a channel that we want to share. It's our favorite coffee, but he has a new YouTube. And you guys can go check out his YouTube. The YouTube of the coffee that we always promote is kind of blowing up a little bit, isn't it? It's kind of really got some cool content. The Village Coffee. I'm going to put it down in the chat while the commercial comes on. So you guys go and follow Cade. Let's talk about the official coffee of the Rushmore Show.
Let's face it, at-home coffee can be pretty stale. Coffee at home doesn't have to be boring. The Village Coffee is here to deliver the flavor. The Village Coffee roasts coffee every week and sells online. Go to villagebeans.com to order your coffee today and use discount code Rushmore for free shipping.
Hey, I'm posting it right now for you guys. This is the channel of the Village Coffee. It's pretty new. And if you go there, he's got 61 subscribers. They only got 20 videos. They just kind of started not long back. But there's a video, and let me see which one it is. Andy, you mentioned why cheap coffee sucks. I think it's that one, right? Let's see. No, it's I don't know. There's a video out there, and Andy posted a thing saying, let's see how many likes we can get because we're trying to get him to give us a Rushmore coffee. Hey, I drink a cup of coffee on every video. I need to order some. Hey, Cassette Phase, that'd be great. It is fantastic coffee. I recommend the Brazil, what's the new name for the Brazil, Andy?
Brazil is called Common Ground.
Common Ground. That's my favorite. It's
But, still on the website. It'll tell you it's Brazil or it's whatever. So you'll
yeah.
get it.
So go to Village Coffee, sub, tell them you got there from the Rushmore Show, and tell them we need a Rushmore blend. And let's get back to the show, man. Let's get our boys back out here. We're at 27. We ran off like 4 people. But that's 7 people, man. And I used to good veggies. Nicole, you love veggies. I love that. Have a great night, guys. 3:45 in the morning. Wow. Netherlands, freedom sufferer. Thanks for being here, man. Anyways, 28. We're going back up. See, we're back to the show. We bring on the bald guys, and the viewership starts to rise back up. Colin, you're up. Number 2 on the mountain. His name's Link for Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln. Let's see. Any Abrahams out there to be picked? I don't know. Maybe a Mr. Lincoln.
Abraham had many sons.
He did.
And many sons had Father Abraham.
Ben says he's still enjoying. Ben, we love you, man. We love you. And I try to connect with those 2 friends you dropped on here. I'd love to do that. Colin, tell us who's your number 2 on the mountain.
I think he's been mentioned in the comments. Not perhaps Father of the Year, but one hell of a program. Really fell into the recording off of the television and collecting them, much like the Leave It to Beaver. We're talking about Married with Children, and we're talking about Ed O'Neill as Al Bundy.
Al
Al,
Bundy.
4 touchdowns, Bundy. Yes.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Tell me about it. Tell me about Al Bundy.
Just the
Not to be
fact that
confused.
he hasn't given up on life yet and just continues to plod forward, just and in hilarious fashion as well. Just life stinks. He knows it, but damn it, he's gonna get up tomorrow. And
Action Joe Figs, I'm glad you're here. I hope you watched last week. Go back and watch last week. Your boy General Kenobi was on. Thanks for being here. And little Timmy's in the house. Little Timmy is our greatest moderator. He's actually a student of mine, and he loves having the control. Yeah, tell us about Al Bundy. Music Man says Al Bundy's his spirit animal.
Yeah. His love of the bathroom, like the weird. Okay. Let's just focus in on the one episode where he can't remember the name of the song.
Yes.
Him. Al, your nose hairs are going in and out of your nose like a party favor. I could quote that entire episode. All I ever wanted was the 45, either the liquor or the gun. It's just amazing. And honestly, I don't think anyone could have done Al Bundy as well as Ed O'Neill. So kudos to Ed O'Neill. Great actor.
Shout out to Ed O'Neill.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he is just a funny guy. Yeah.
Can I just say something about Ed O'Neill real quick? And I know it's not
Yeah.
Al Bundy. My George of appearances by him clearly comes from Wayne's World when he's Glenn, the manager of Stan Mikita's Donuts, and he says, "So Wayne, I hear you're putting on some kind of concert. That's good. People need to be entertained. They need the distraction. I wish to God that someone would be able to block out the voices in my head for 5 minutes. The voices that scream over and over again. Why do they come to me to die? Why do they come to me to die? Okay." I will quote that movie all day long. Anyway, that's Ed O'Neill. It's not Al Bundy, but I do love this picture.
And he's like Modern Family, right? Modern Family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Little Giants with Icebox. Oh, everyone, spam the W's in the chat. Little Timmy is a member for a month. Way to go, Little Timmy. We thank you for Little Timmy. We love you, man. I miss you. Hate him, but I like Ed O'Reilly. Okay. So I love Ed O'Neill. I will just say this. He is 100%. Al Bundy is 100% was my fifth on the mountain. I didn't have him pegged for either one of you two guys, but I thought maybe Andy might snag him. But as far as dads, he wasn't the greatest dad, but I can relate to him so much. Just blue collar, shoe salesman, but just like snarky, side commented. And like, I love his relationship with his kids and how he just smart aleck, like just right off the cuff. Peg is hilarious. The Neighbor, just the whole show is funny. This is one of those shows. I don't know what time it came on, but I feel like it wasn't like right when I got home from school, but maybe like an hour and a half after, an hour or two after. Like it wasn't like prime time 9 o'clock. I feel like it was at like that 6:30 time. I was just finishing homework and I caught like every time I could. This is about number 5 for me. And I was definitely pulling this out in the first round of the draft. So big pick. Oh, autocorrect, O'Neill. That makes a whole lot more sense. Ed O'Reilly.
What about Baba O'Reilly though? That's
who?
Yeah.
Maybe I do shaking my head. Sarcasm at its highest form. Yes, it is. Is his art form? Yes. Okay. If anything is wrong, then tell me so I can handle it.
No, it's little Timmy. He's talking about a character that we're talking about tonight.
Yeah. He's just talking about a character right here on the chat.
Little Timmy's ready to go to bat.
Little Timmy. That's Farhan, by the way. Farhan's ready to go to war. All right. So Ed O'Neill. have we exhausted that? Anybody want to talk on?
Yeah,
more?
you said, as far as good dad, listen, I think these shows that started to come out in the late 80s, early 90s, as unfortunately or fortunately we started to transition to a different time. I think shows like Married with Children allowed kids to feel a little bit normal about their home, and
A lot like Connor.
like Dan Connor, like Al Bundy, that it wasn't all picture perfect, and there was some, there was the sister, the Christina Applegate, and then there was the son who was doing their thing, the mom who was quote lazy around the house, and maybe it gave kids an opportunity to be like, all right, cool, I have never been represented on TV before, and now I feel like I am. So I think there's a wonderful place for shows like that in history of television.
Yeah, this is a good show. I appreciate it so much. I appreciate the dad, and I'm glad somebody gave it some authority today. So, all right. Well, how far back we going now, Jason? I mean, we're back in the 80s now.
Oh yeah, we're back in the 80s for sure.
So.
Yeah. So my number 2 pick?
Yes.
Well, this show is man. I look up at the wall and I try to where does this show fall and where does that? They all just the crazy part about this era is that everything is tied for number 1. Everything is just right up there because they were all so good. This dad, I just love this show so much. And you talked earlier, and I've talked before on my channel, about separating character from the person who played the character. You do that with you do that with movies, and you do that with television. And I always say, and I don't have a thing to say about the person because I don't know the person. I only know the character. But for sure, 100%, this guy's my number 2. He could have easily been my number 1. But Dr. Heathcliff Huxtable.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The Cosby Show. I love that show so much. And like I said earlier, there's always just sad stories about every single one of those shows. And, a month ago or so, we lost Malcolm Jamal Warner, who just such a devastating, sad death. And I love the Cosby Show so much. I love the marital connection. That couple could separate the marriage from the kids. They focused on their marriage and they focused on parenting. I love all the kids. I truly love every single one of the kids. I don't like Cousin Pam as much, but again, that's the whole jump. That's where the shark gets jumped. But and Bill Cosby, there are so many. And again, if I want to give you the idea for the show, the top 4 sitcom moments, but Bill Cosby, Dr. Huxtable is so loving, but he can be stern, but he's stern in a Bill Cosby kind of way. My favorite moment from that show is when I think it's season 1, Theo gets an earring.
Yeah.
Or he's doing bad in school. He's doing bad in school or something. And Huxtable says, or he's getting on him about the grades. And Theo says, I'm paraphrasing, but, Dad, I just want you to love me. I'm trying the best I can. I am your son and you're my dad and I love you. And I want you to love me for me. And the crowd goes, oh, and then Huxtable goes, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. I loved that so much. I love Dr. Huxtable, Bill Cosby, number 2.
Yeah, this is a great pick. I mean,
I can tell you this. There's been some great leaders in my life fall from Grace. And when you see something like this guy kind of fall, then nobody's safe. Nobody is even safe. To me, like if you would have told me as a kid that guy was a predator and whatever, everything from picture pages to Fat Albert to Dad is great, Give me the chocolate cake.
The cake.
Yeah, the Bill Cosby himself.
Ah.
That was like the cleanest, best comedy show. He's making fun of Eddie Murphy. Eddie, making and like the whole shtick, right? This is the first show I can remember, like as a kid, it's Wednesday night, I got to watch the Cosby. Like it's the first show I remember that our family watched it week after week after week after week. And to hear, I just looked it up. I was curious. I was like, man, how old is he now? He's 88.
Yeah.
88, sitting in a cell somewhere. Just this, whatever. But Cliff Huxtable was on my list. Another one. So somebody mentioned it earlier. So had Tanner, had Huxtable, and Al Bundy's. I think somebody's list had all three of those, and that was like my next set of honorable mentions. My honorable mentions are hurting. They're hurting because those are three of them right there. Thanks for picking. Bryce J. Dub, just saw you were going live. I'm glad you popped on over here. I was just looking at it. And I wanted to shout this out. Hey, Nicole. Nicole says, I have learned disabilities, I have disorders, and I have special gifts, born, raised in that way. I grew up in that way. And a little while earlier, she said, I really love this channel. Hey, we love you being here, and you're welcome here. Stay as long as you want. Stay as long as you want. We love that. So anyways, the Huxtables, Cosby, let's talk about him.
Pudding Pops. I think about
that
kids,
too.
Kids say the darndest
so
things.
Good. Jello. Yeah.
Jello. I remember I was like Little Bill, the cartoon that he had come out with later on. Yeah, there's a lot. Bill Cosby was just everywhere, man.
Yeah.
American icon right there, man. Like he was an American treasure for a long time. When it came out, the news, dang, that was heartbreaking.
I'll tell you, you said Bill Cosby himself. I don't think I've ever told the story on the channel, but I practically memorized that stand-up routine. And I remember having a radio, like a kid's radio that had a mic attached to it. So when you talked into the mic, it would broadcast through the radio. I remember being at my grandparents' for a sleepover one night and taking 25 minutes of their life that they can never get back and doing my Bill Cosby himself bit in their family room.
Phil, Phil.
Yeah. The Eddie Murphy doesn't swear. No, but I did the whole.
My favorite part is the breathing Cosbys.
Yeah.
Push.
I did the dentist thing where fiber. My mouth it is some fiber. That whole thing was so good. He comes home, kill the boy. You got to go kill your mother. Sent me up here to kill you.
So good. Bryce, yeah. Bryce said, "Hey, I have a disability too. You're welcome. This is a safe space." It definitely is. Dude, that's so funny. Oh my God, what a great comedy show. That was a great. I might have to watch that. It's probably banned everywhere now.
Yeah.
Wait. Roxanne says, I heard Colin does a great Jello pudding Cosby impression.
Go ahead, Colin.
Roxanne is my girlfriend, if that hasn't been made clear yet. I don't really know Jello pudding, but I don't do a good impression of that at all. Thank you, honey.
Outstanding.
The Jello pudding pops. I don't know.
That's
it. Way to go, honey.
It's now on the internet.
Oh,
I love it. It's fantastic.
That is so good. I love it. I want to say I was in the hospital for my headaches, and so listen, we'd love to pray for you, Nicole. Thanks for being here. Retro Rays. I never really got in the Cosby Show for some reason. Yeah, it's not for everybody, I guess. But Roxanne, I know I didn't realize that was your girlfriend, but thanks for bringing her along. That's awesome. That's a good moment. That's one of those times we need a clip.
So it all tonight, Colin.
Yeah.
There was another Family Guy episode, and I always think of these references, where it was like I think it was Family Guy, and he was on kids say the darndest things, and the kid was talking about Pokemon. He said, Pokemon, Pokemon. And I can't do anywhere near as good as Colin can do a Huxtable, a Cosby impression. So,
I'm not sure how much that.
Pokemon.
Pokemon. All right. So I believe it's my turn,
Yep,
right?
it is you.
All right. So Link, this is Andy. I think you could probably pick this one. You kind of mentioned him earlier. And to me, this is the guy that I relate to the most. I relate to this guy as an actor. I relate to this guy, both of his main shows, two of my favorite shows. I relate to him as, I mean, every character known to man. He is, gosh, I aspire in my comedy to be like this guy. Let me pull up the statisticians, because I love stats. Andy hates stats, by the way. Andy despises stats. And
stats are for liars.
Oh, are they? But I'm gonna go with I actually wanted to go with his newer show more, but it wasn't retro enough, I don't think. So but I'm gonna go with his old show. And this old show is absolutely popular. So we're gonna go. This show is from 1991 to 1999, ABC.
Yeah, it is.
He's a husband. He's got kids, lots of kids. He's got a really awesome neighbor. He's all about the DIY.
Yeah,
He's all about the DIY. I'm going with Tim the Toolman Taylor. I'm going with Tim Allen. Yeah, there you go. Bring that in. Let me just tell you why I love him so much. One, I love working with my hands. I love wood. Like I love furniture. I started a wood channel. Sometimes I put it in the chat over there as one of my alt accounts. But I wanted to do like woodworking on I wanted to do woodworking and have that as like my second channel. And man, this first channel is enough time, much less this whole second channel, plus my son's channel. So I never really did it, but I often use it every once in a while. But I just relate to him. I relate to his comedy. I relate to his view on his children, how he leads them. Everything is got like a point. I love his relationship with Jill. They're snarky with each other. They get in arguments. He's very sarcastic, but they love each other to death. It's very much like me and my wife's relationship. I can see myself like being that character in that. It just makes so much sense to me. And I'm going with obviously Tim the Toolman Taylor from Home Improvement. It was one of my great sitcoms back in the day, but as far as dads, this is I would love him to play me for sure. Yeah.
I love this pick. I knew that you would pick. I mean, I know you wanted to go with Last Man Standing.
Last Man Standing.
That's the other one you're thinking.
Let me tell you something. Last Man Standing as a dad and Goldberg's as a dad are my two favorite dads on television ever. But I think both of them are not retro enough. So there you go.
Last Man Standing isn't 2010?
It might be, but I didn't think
2011. 2011. It's retro next year. Wow.
It's retro next year. Yeah. So, anyways, I love this. I love this so much. I love this. This is one of those shows I watched a ton of. He's seeing hello, howdy neighbor, and also in seeing his friend neighbor down the street that always comes over. Those kind of things. Listen, there's always, and then obviously being in the shop and kind of being snarky and everything from which his co-host on Tool Time, that guy is a real DIY guy. That guy,
Richard Karn. Yeah,
dude, he's got
a show Assembly Required.
Yes, that was so good. I love that show to death. Anyways, I'm gonna go with Tim Toolman.
Also, a short-lived Family Feud host.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was. Fantastic choice. Retro Ray says that show is like 90s comfort food TV. I put it on all the time. Roxanne, smiling face. Nicole says okay. Yes, it was Family Guy this week.
Oh, everyone
Bryce,
loves Raymond.
Everybody loves Raymond, a retro show. Yes, it is. And
1996.
And okay.
Shoot.
Now,
Ray Romano,
yeah,
Ray.
Do you guys like Tim Toolman Taylor? Tim Allen?
No.
No, I love the show. I love this show that we're on here because we all have wonderful, varying opinions. I was never a home improvement guy. I don't know what I was doing when did it air? When did it debut?
91 to 98.
The 91 to 98.
91.
So this was like my 8th grade through high school into college.
Yeah, so 91, I was in 9th or 10th grade. I don't know why I didn't connect with home improvement. I just didn't. I'd have to look back to see what was on at the time. Maybe I was watching. Well, I don't know what I don't know what I was doing 91, but I'd have to go back and look. But yeah, I could revisit it. I might enjoy it, but I never really connected with home improvement at all.
Yeah. Video game was cool.
Was
Is that the one what's the one you put on behind you, Kirk? I never really looked at that.
I ended up putting on the Simpsons arcade game.
I got you.
Just beat it on my emulator that came from Canada.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice. That is a fantastic game. Absolutely love it. Although the game is over right now, so that's not good.
Game
Insert coin.
over. Hey, yeah, so you got an emulator. That's what I have here. I bought an emulator. Matter of fact, Andy, I think I'm going to sell this emulator. If anybody wants to buy my emulator, I'll sell it to you for maybe $300.
Wow.
Well, I'll sell it to you for $250. I bought it for $300. There's nothing wrong with it. But there's a new one out. And on the new one, the same guy that made this one, there's PS2 and GameCube on it.
GameCube.
PS2. Which means I might stop collecting my PS2 games. Anyways.
Tim Taylor. All right, Colin, what did you think about Tim the Toolman Taylor?
So we all have that TV show that we've never seen an episode of. That would be Home Improvement.
Really?
And judging by Jason's reaction, perhaps his as well. We have similar minds, Jason and I. We could be the same person.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, Colin, if you move a little bit over to your left, are you going to be in his? Is that how that works? That would be impressive.
Virtual Bart is a guilty pleasure, Ben says. That's Smash. Smash to all you. The Smasher, which is a fantastic 80s show as well. If you guys aren't following Smash TV, you're in the wrong decade.
That's right.
So, all right. So, Andy, who's your link? And then let's finish this show off, man.
Well, speaking of a different decade, this is actually a show that I watched on and off, when it was airing and stuff. And actually recently has been my new show that I'm going from the beginning all the way through. I'm just in season 2 of like 15 of them now or something like that. But I love this show. Especially I love the director / producer and all of the other things. And because of these two people who created this show, if you see everything else that they've done, it's what I love. So it's going to make sense. But I'm going with Hank Hill I'm going Hank Hill, King of the Hill. That's where I'm going with this one.
Propane.
I'll sell propane and propane accessories. I love King of the Hill. It is so good. He is just an everyday guy in Texas. He is such a just believable. It's cartoon, but it's not. It's over the top enough, but it's like, okay, yeah, I see. Like this guy, he's just a dad. That boy ain't right. Like everything about him. He loves Willie Nelson. He loves his wife. I mean, he's going to go to defend his wife. He doesn't always get along with Bobby, but he does. He's a dad. They bring in Luann, and that's a whole mess and everything there. But yeah, I love this. Again, like I said, recently been rewatching this show, and it holds up so well. Mike Judge and Greg Daniels, I mean, just a fantastic roof. You know, Mike Judge from Beavis and Butthead, and even Office Space, and all of those things that I love. But then you move to Greg Daniels, and I mean, it's no surprise. You know, The Office, Parks and Rec, all of those things that I love. Which The Paper is coming out now. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about that, but we'll see how that is. But my two favorite shows of all time are The Office and Parks and Recreation, and that was Greg Daniels, who had a part in King of the Hill as well. But I'm going Hank Hill for my link.
Oh, cassette phase. I didn't even realize. Maybe I missed that. That you were down in Texas. For some reason, I thought you were a New Englander like my friend up in the down here in the bottom corner in Rochester. I thought you were like up that direction, that northeasterly. But I don't know. Maybe because I met you, or I found your channel through Jason. I just assumed. That's just kind of how internet is weird. If you just kind of like put people's. But Texas, cool. That's not far from us. Andy's in Louisiana. I'm in Georgia. And both of these guys like Canada, Canardians, and Rochester, Rochester Nighthawks, Nighthawks, lacrosse. Anyways, Hank Hill, watched it for a time of my life. This was before I kind of like stopped being friends with adult cartoons. I would probably give this one a chance.
It's
again.
So
I probably would give this one a chance again. Simpsons, to me, top 4. Simpsons, Family Guy, King of the Hill. There's a top 3. Everybody else is fighting for number 4. It's just, that's how it is in that realm of the world. I like the pick. I'll just say that. It isn't my cup of tea, but I like the pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I like Colin said earlier. There's always a show that you feel weird saying that you've never seen. I've only seen bits and pieces of Family Guy,
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
But regardless of that, I appreciate comedy so much, and comedy is so common that it takes a very special comedian and a very special comedic mind to get me to pop. And there's only like a handful of comedians that I just think are on another level. And Mike Judge is one of them, obviously. Yeah. And Seth MacFarlane is one of them. And David Letterman is one of them. And Norm Macdonald is one of them. Colin from Canada is one of them. And
there he is.
They're on different levels of comedy. And Mike Judge, from just even rewatching, my kids started rewatching Beavis and Butthead highlights on YouTube. Yeah, I go back and I listen to some of the things that they're saying, and it's too funny to even laugh. It's not a comedy that you laugh at. It's a comedy that you go, good grief, that is so good.
Yeah.
And Mike Judge is one of those.
He's top.
Hey, Retro Rays. I'm in the Gwinnett County area of Georgia. I moved here in 2018 to be a missionary, and Andy took my position back home. He is now the youth pastor back where I'm at, generations pastor, where I came from. And so now I'm a school teacher, and he used to be a school teacher. So there's that. King of the Hill, great pick. But
Colin, do you guys get King of the Hill in Canada?
Again, just what Jason said. It's another show that is on my radar. So I have a large collection of television shows and movies, to the point where I would need about 10 lifetimes to watch all the footage I own. I'm not tooting my own horn, but King of the Hill is on my radar. I own the whole show is what I'm telling you, and I've never watched one episode. However, I would love to hear some more Hank Hill, because that was better than the Homer.
It's outstanding.
Hey, peg leg. I sell propane and propane accessories. I love
Accessories.
Bro, so good. It's so good. So
Oh,
good.
and on a side note, I can add this. Andy mentioned The Office. I own a screen-worn Dwight Schrute shirt and tie. And my old Corolla, before I got into a car accident, I had Michael Scott Paper Company, huge door stickers on both sides of the car.
Beautiful. That is beautiful.
So that's,
I can't tell you.
That's all I
So,
got for King
And
of the Hill.
that's how Roxanne fell in
we're
love
probably
with you,
in the
right there.
same boat here, Colin. But I don't even know how many times I've watched The Office all the way through. I've lost
Me
count.
and my girlfriend, same thing, Andy.
Right.
I usually end The Office and then I'll watch Parks and Rec all the way
I
through,
was-
and then I'll
I was
start
sitting
The
there
Office,
thinking, I was
and
like,
then I'll do
how
Parks
many
and Rec.
dads? Listen, honestly, I was like, how many dads are in these two shows?
There's not
Yeah.
many in The Office. I mean,
there's
like
not
Jim
many.
Halpert's a dad. Do we
And
count him?
well, it's funny because when I was looking up the lists, old boy from Parks and Rec, the best guy. What's his name?
Andy Dwyer?
No,
Ron Swanson.
Ron Swanson was on the list because
He's a
of his
dad.
girlfriend's kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was like, maybe Andy might say that.
Ronald Ulysses Swanson.
But, dude, Ron Swanson is one of the greatest written characters in
Yes. Agreed.
Parks and Rec is one of the greatest shows of all time. I mean, just
King of the Hill, and your impression
beginning.
is spot on. Yeah. All right, so let's do this. Let's finish this thing out. The George. We're 2:11 in. I think we're making.
Oh, I got a sound for that. You ready? Hold on, give me a second. I got a sound for that.
2 hours later.
2 hours later.
Oh, there it is.
Yes.
Yes.
There it is. SpongeBob. SpongeBob's dad's not in there, so you're not going to pick him for. Okay. I'm trying to think who you're going to
There's
go
a
with.
SpongeBob character you can put in there.
Yeah, there is. But all right. So last pick, Colin. Who's your George? Your favorite TV dad of all time?
Okay. I'm so proud to bring this man to the forefront, and I'm going full Colin from Canada. Lester, please, I have the floor. Let me introduce you to a show that I probably could not watch today because it reminds me too much of how much I miss being a kid. It's The Wonder Years. It's Dan Lauria as Jack Arnold, and I will fight to the death anyone that comes to me and says that there's not a better actor who portrayed a father than Dan Lauria as Jack Arnold. He's not even, he is Jack Arnold. Like, it's unbelievable. When Karen moves in with David Schwimmer, I haven't changed. Okay? You know what I'm talking about, Jason. You know what time it is, okay?
Yep.
Lester, you do as well. When he gets in the fight at the dinner table with Buddy from My Big Fat Greek Wedding, who opposes the war, and Jack was in the Korean War, and he's very passionate about defending his country. It does not get any better acting than that. So, like in my criteria, like I mentioned, when it comes to acting and you believe him as a father, no one was more believable than Dan Lauria as Jack Arnold. And I have no clue how he didn't win an Emmy for that show. I thank you.
Nice.
I will
go.
I will just go on a limb. I love this show. I don't think I watched enough of it as a kid.
Criminal.
I not that I didn't watch it. I just don't think it was one of those ones that I couldn't miss. And looking back, I remember I had a crush on the girl, right? What's her name?
Winnie
Penelope? No. Yeah,
Dan
there we
Kamikawa.
go. Anyways,
What would you do if I sing out of
I need
tune?
to tap back in. I need to tap back into some Wonder Years. I got to tap.
Absolutely.
I think it's something perfect for me to watch. But I do know this. With all that being said, excellent pick, because some of the things that are like ingrained in my mind was like him and Fred Savage kind of like just doing things together, right? Like doing woodworking and throwing a football and talking over like when he got, I feel like he like some problems at school or whatever, and just being a really good dad. And I love this pick. I love this pick at all, and I do need to watch more of it. I'll have to find wherever that's at in the world of streaming and watch some more Wonder Years.
Colin from Canada will send it to you.
Yeah, just tell him you need a show. He'll send it to you. Wonder Years. Wow. It's probably the most special television to me in the history of TV. Every character's perfect, 100% hands down perfect. Jack Arnold is so good. I mean, you can't, and again, this goes into the top 4 sitcom moments of all time, but I just watched, last year, I'd say my son and I, my 13-year-old now 13, we binged the Wonder Years, and I would say, let's say there's 120 episodes of the Wonder Years. I cried at the end of 117 of them, and I was made fun of all 117 times by my child. But there are some Jack Arnold moments, and the one Jack Arnold moment that I know Colin knows is when Kevin breaks up with Winnie at the party.
Yes,
comes home and
garage.
He's in the garage, and Kevin just says, something like, Winnie and I broke up, and he's about to cry, and the dad stands up, and he pushes himself into his dad's belly. He just puts his head into his belly, and that kills me every single time. And it's just so good, and he's so great. And I hate the last episode when you find out, well, you haven't seen it all the way through, but you don't hear good things about him at the end of the last episode. I hate that part, but such a great show, such a good actor. Good pick, Colin.
So it's streaming on Hulu and Disney Plus, and I have both of those.
So here's the thing, Fred Savage, my brain goes in different ways, and I think of Austin Powers. Mole, 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 mole. That's all I think there, but no, it's a great pick. Fred Savage, then my brain goes to his brother, right? And we go Boy Meets World, and
yeah, Ben Savage.
So, yeah,
I always think of The Wizard.
Or The Wizard. Yeah, there's one. Yeah, great pick.
Good pick. And Jason. So
yep.
if we haven't crushed yet, what are we doing?
I don't know, Kevin. So my number one was not my number one before, was not my number one before I spoke to my good close personal friend here locally. He would have been my number 2. My number 1 we'll mention later, but this guy would have been my number 2, and I think it's a sleeper. I don't think it's a guy that you think of number 1. I watched this show in childhood, obviously, but I paid more attention to it as an adult, as we all do, and I love it. I love it so much. I love it more than I thought that I would love it. It's definitely up there in my top 3 shows. All my stuff is tied for number 1, really, but Alan Thicke, Jason Seaver. Oh man, first of all, I love Alan Thicke, and I don't know anything about Alan Thicke until watching Growing Pains, because some of these sitcom people you don't know outside of the sitcom. What did Dan Lauria do outside of the sitcom? You don't want to see him in anything else. You just want to know him as Jack Arnold. And I just know Alan Thicke as Jason Seaver. He's in my field. He's a psychiatrist, and he's got a home office, which is absolutely taboo in this field. You don't have a home office. That's absurd. But he was a stay-at-home dad, and he's got a feisty, touchy-feely relationship with his wife. He parents all 3 kids differently based on their personalities. It's sitcom stuff, so nobody acts like this, but the way he dressed during the day, I thought was cool. Nobody dresses like that in their house during the day. It's ridiculous. But, he's got the shirt tucked into the pants with the sweater vest over it while he's making dinner, and nobody's in the kitchen, but he's singing to himself, and he's dancing, and he's doing fun stuff. and that's just sitcom shtick. But I just love Jason Seaver. I love Alan Thicke. Again, another horrible loss several years ago, but Growing Pains is great, and Dr. Jason Seaver is fantastic.
So right before he passed away, he had an episode in Fuller House, FYI.
Yeah, that's right.
And his only other really crowning achievement is that he's the father of Robin Thicke,
right?
Who is been kind of a mega pop star over the last 15, 20 years. But I accidentally, I guess, called this one because I knew you were watching these shows, and I'm like, these are the ones I would assume if he's picking 80s, these are his guys. And I have this one on my Benjis, and I am losing Benjis fast. I don't know who I'm picking in the second round, but great show. Kirk Cameron, the whole deal. Kirk Cameron's now basically an evangelist, and that was one of the things about the whole show was he became born again, and there was a whole thing with that. But Growing Pains is a great show. This is one of the shows I remember literally watching with my sister. Mm-hmm. My sister's 8 years older than me. My other sisters are even older than that, and then my youngest sister, I can remember sitting around watching Growing Pains as well as Family Ties. And these are the shows I can remember sitting down with her and watching. And most of the stuff, I probably didn't even get it at the time, but I enjoyed it spending time with her. And then great moments. He's a great dad, really great dad. And
Alan Thicke's voice is great.
Yeah.
He's got a great dad voice.
He definitely does. Definitely does.
This is one of those shows, and I definitely watched episodes of this, but it's like all of those shows that were in that same vein that we've mentioned, they kind of bleed together for me. Like, was that on Growing Pains, or was it in Full House, or was that in, like, which one was this in? They were all kind of like bleed together, but I do love Alan Thicke. Great one. Yeah. And I was gonna bring up the Robin Thicke thing too. He looks a lot like his dad. It's pretty crazy to see.
Yeah, I think Robin is unintentionally or intentionally paying tribute to Alan Thicke's hair by having, that big, awesome Alan Thicke hair. The voice again. I
didn't even realize. I mean, looking back, that he was a psychiatrist working out of his house. I mean, I didn't put those things. I was so young, not even thinking about that. But I know you just rewatched it, and it probably was like a big red flag for you. Like, what?
Oh, I mean, especially psychiatry. I mean, we're not going to go down that road, but psychiatry. You're prescribing meds and you're treating some pretty, intense mental health disorders. So you really don't.
First off, you don't necessarily want them to know where you live.
Correct.
Secondary, you definitely won't want them on your couch.
Also, his son, Brennan Thicke, was the voice of Dennis the Menace in the 1986 TV series.
Wow.
So, don't look, it's not just Robin Thicke. Brennan was the voice of Dennis.
The plot thickens.
There you go.
Good stuff.
All right.
Colin, do you like Alan Thicke?
Alan Thicke, fellow Canadian.
Oh, I was going to say that too. I looked it up. I saw Canardians.
I'm sure Jason knows this, but the same gentleman that created The Wonder Years created Growing Pains, Neil Barlands.
Neil Barlands, yes.
So, yeah. Again, me and Jason are the same person, so whatever he said is what I said. So
awesome. Well, I'm going to jump into mine. And
he also, real quick, Alan Thicke, I don't know if we know this. Thicke, he was the host of a late night talk show called Thick of the Night.
Yep, right.
It lasted like one season, so that's fun. Anyway,
he's in the short list of late night talk show hosts that lasted a year or two, and those are great late 80s memories.
Yeah, there you go. I just love the name Thick of the. I mean, if that's your last name, just lean into it.
Fun fact, real quick, guys. He did a lot of 80s TV theme songs, including Different Strokes.
Yes.
Oh.
He sang the Different Strokes theme. He
Facts of Life.
Well, didn't he write?
Alan Thicke was a Renaissance man.
Yeah, he was.
And it played into the show a little bit. He was an old-timey singer in the show, too. That was his previous life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Retro Ray says, I'll be honest, I watched the show, but I don't remember what he did for a living. Yeah, I wouldn't have put two and two together. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. So, all right, well, I'll jump in mine. So here's the thing. The guy I'm talking about, not only is he iconic and nostalgic, which is two of our favorite words, he's calm. His children are different. They're all different from each other. And he is literally probably the blueprint for all mentors going forward. He is a non-typical type dad, as he is, or non-traditional, if you will, as he has adopted these kids. And not only did he raise his kids, but he raised a generation of kids. I'm going to go with, it was said in the chat earlier, and I was like, dang it, stop throwing things out there that I don't want to be out there. But I am going with none other than Yoshi Hiyamoto. I'm going with Splinter from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
What a pick.
What a deep cut that is.
Yeah. So listen, I mean, you want to talk about my childhood and somebody I would want to be. You had Michelangelo, the crazy party kid. You had the nerd. You had the leader. You had the whatever. But this guy, I remember like watching G.I. Joe. You had the PSAs. You know, He-Man. You had the PSAs. All the 80s stuff. Here, Splinter was the PSA. Like every time he came on, and he's just simply just chilling, and they are all doing whatever. He just calmly tell them what to do. And one of my favorite things, and I spoke this probably in cartoons, some kind of cartoon episode, but it's something that I saw and it stuck with me. And I was like, man, just what a great, if that was the whole idea when Eastman was writing this and why he picked it. But each one of the turtles' weapons were the opposite of the turtle. So Leonardo had real problems with being aggressive. He was the leader. He didn't want to do anything over aggressive. He always wanted to defend and whatever. And he was given the swords, the most dangerous of all the weapons that they have. Michelangelo, he's the one that doesn't want to train. He's always won the party. He got the hardest weapon, the nunchucks, to figure out. Raphael, he had troubles with his anger. He couldn't figure out how to control himself and his anger. So he gave him a defensive weapon, the sai. And then my favorite turtle of all time, Donatello, the smartest one, the most techie, he gave him the most basic weapon, the stick. And he said, you guys figure this out, because if you want to be good ninjas, you want to be good leaders. But I mean, Splinter is what every other anime since then has been modeled after. Uncle Iroh and from Avatar and all these guys from Dragon Ball to whatever, all these cartoons, they model them after Splinter. And Splinter Base was probably Mr. Miyagi back then when Eastman was watching it. But I'm going with Splinter. Greatest TV dad I've watched.
What a pick. What a way to end your mountain. This is great. And the record can show that Mikey is the greatest of the turtles, but that's okay.
It is.
We say this all the time, so I'm curious. Okay, when it comes to turtles, I don't care about a personality test for somebody. I don't care about what.
Well, Jason's collecting them, or just finished collecting them, so he probably has.
I think what your favorite turtle is says more about you than what any of these Myers-Briggs tests or whatever would tell. So Colin, what's your favorite of the four turtles?
I love the pick. Very original. I think thinking outside the box there, Kirk. Very good. The Mr. Miyagi vibe, definitely. I'm surprised my girlfriend has not chimed in about her favorite turtle, which was Raphael. I'm more of a Michelangelo guy because in the video game, you could reach further with him in the video game.
And you can fly with the nunchucks in some of them, too.
Yes, exactly.
And what a cool...
Well, actually, that's one of the main reasons I started liking Donatello, the original Nintendo game. He was the only guy worth playing because he had the big stick and whacking people, getting away. That little... Raphael's little... Gosh, I wish they had given him like a kick or a charge or something, because that sucked.
There's
Raphael
one
always died.
original NES game where you have to use the stick to push down
Yeah.
on one of the on Bebop or somebody, so you had to have that stick.
Raphael, there's Roxanne. Roxanne.
Oh, is she in there?
Yeah, she said Raphael.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Jason, who's your guy?
What's that?
Who's your turtle?
Oh, I don't have a turtle. I feel like I'm not part of the group. I don't have a turtle. I don't know. I maybe Mike.
And that probably says even more. You collect the turtles, and there's not one that you have as a favorite. You're all on your mountain.
Maybe I'm a Baxter Stockman guy. I don't know.
That says a lot.
He's
a
Jason.
doctor. He's a doctor.
Jason guy.
Great pick.
No, that's a great pick, Splinter. Thinking outside of the box, Kirk. I'm normally the one who would do a pick like that, and it's not me.
I knew you would. I knew you would.
It's not me.
I'll tell you what. I don't have a turtle, but it's so special. That was the first time Liam and I, my 13-year-old and I, had a father-son thing, because when he was about 6 years old, his mother had, well, it's not like she still doesn't, but she had some sort of unusual, strict things, and he couldn't watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Well, I wasn't having that, and so that child would get up at about 6:30 in the morning, tapping me on the forehead, and we would lay on the couch together and watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And where's the disconnect button for Jason? What?
Because you didn't choose the turtle. Baxter Stockman.
Colin, your lady just canceled me.
honey, what are we doing here, bud? This is like when she texts me and I have no idea what tone of voice she's talking to me in. I don't know what she means by this.
But we watched the entire, whatever it is, 8 or 9 seasons.
That's awesome.
With about 6 months, and it's such a great memory. Yeah, that's a side story, but I had to share it.
I love that. Hey, I will just share this. I don't see your kids on nearly as much as I would like to, because every time they pop down into the cave or you do a little something, you show a vacation, man, I enjoy the relationship. I really do. And I know Liam's got his own channel.
Yeah.
And every time I go to look for it, it's something new, so I can never find it.
Yeah, and right now he's Liam Too Real, which whatever. The Finster's got his own little channel. He's Travis Bot 2 a.m. and he just does a lot of drawing. He's a little budding artist. He's awesome. But yeah, I'd like to get more of the kids in the channel as
Travis Bot.
Travis Bot, not Travis Scott.
Travis Bot 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Blocky Kid Gamer is in the house. What's up, Blocky?
Speaking of kids, Blocky Kid, he's one of our good friends' kids. Travis Bot 2 a.m. 44 subs. Make it 45. Make it 45. He's got 217 videos of drawings.
That's all he does.
Wow.
He does his drawings, and then he steals other people's shorts and puts them on his own channel.
Well, hey, come on.
Yeah,
You got to do what you got to do.
Those shorts.
Times are tough.
Nice. Shorts.
Times are tough.
Yeah, times are tough. He's stealing shorts. Get him, Roxanne. Anyways, one more pick, and it's time to get out of here with the honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Which are much quicker.
I love this because, like we talked about it generationally, I feel like my picks are pretty safe today. Like, your guys aren't going to really intrude on my territory much. And that's been shown, and nobody's really intruded on territory because no Crushmores today. We're going to make it all the way through. Not a single Crushmore. Don't even have to use it.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time, no Crushmores.
Long time since we've done that. In fact, the last couple of episodes, I think the last episode, Kirk, we had the same mountain essentially. So, like, we're in a good spot now where we can have a lot of original stuff. But my George, one of my absolute favorite TV shows growing up. This came out like 1992. I'm going back to Nickelodeon. I'm going back to my wheelhouse. I'm going with the dad that I would I just see some of me in certain ways. I'm going to Rugrats. Give me Stu Pickles. Stu Pickles is going to be the pick. And the reason he's a kid at heart, I mean, he's still a dad. He's a toy inventor. I mean, who wouldn't want to have a toy inventor for a dad, right? Who's just working in his basement, creating toys. He gave his first gift to Tommy, his son, which was just like a screwdriver, which if you see him carry that around, that's like that tinkering and like that was just a thing that he handed down to him. But, you know, there's a lot of times in the show, I don't think I really noticed it watching it when I was a kid, but like where you're like, you can see them struggling, you know, financially or whatever, but he's still a great dad in all of that. He's not, you know, times are tough, like I just said, but he's still a great dad. He still has a whimsical nature to him. I mean, that TV show was just great. I love that show. Love the concept of, you know, it's kind of like Toy Story, but the babies are talking, right, instead of the toys. But yeah, I'm gonna go Stu Pickles. And another thing that really stuck out to me, and I don't have it pulled up right here. Let's see. Let me pull it up real quick because it was an interesting, and I don't like stats, but in 1991, in the 91 series, he is basically my age right now. I am the age of what Stu Pickles was being depicted as during that time. But going Stu Pickles, the toy inventor himself, the kid at heart, a great, great dad with some awesome purple hair.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier you had two Nickelodeons. I was trying to figure out what the other Nickelodeon was, and that was Raymundo. And then this was on my list because he's the only dad I could remember out of the top shows that you liked. Couldn't remember Hey Arnold's dad. I couldn't remember.
Well, Hey Arnold didn't have. Well, he had a dad, but he was raised by his grandparents. Because,
right, and I couldn't remember Doug's dad necessarily.
He's a dad, yeah, for sure.
And so I was like, oh, it's got to probably be Rugrats and SpongeBob, like I mentioned earlier, Ren and Stimpy, the whole gang in Nickelodeon. I'm like, it's got to be Stu Pickles. Good pick. Love the toy inventor side of things. This is a great cartoon. Still tremendously iconic as far as impacting even now. Like Reptar sweatshirts are being sold ridiculous amounts. Because I have kids show up at school, you know, I'm a teacher, and they're wearing like Reptar hoodies. And I'm like, do you even know what that's from? I mean, but you know, they like there's a kid that wears Def Leppard every day, and I go, do you know what song they sing that?
Name a song.
Name a song. They don't know.
How many arms does the drummer have? You trick them on that one.
My guess is our panel below has very little experience with this one.
Yeah, totally. None.
That is correct.
Yeah.
I stumped the crew today. I stumped.
Also, Retro Ray says, nah, never seen a second of it. Jason said, Retro Ray says Jason is a pretty dang good TV, quote, YouTube dad himself.
You can watch YouTube on the TV. So,
there you go.
Retro Ray.
All right, so let's do our honorable mentions before this thing is tomorrow. I knew we would talk well because this is a good crew. I would love to just do this every week with you four because it's a fun conversation. But we're going to do what we call All About the Benjamins. It's our honorable mentions. It's a way to show a little homage to a few picks that just missed the mountain. Let's get it. Considered Benjamin Franklin as maybe being the fifth guy on the mountain. I read it somewhere, and if I read it on the internet, it's got to be true. And guess what? He just missed the mountain. So we're going to talk about who just missed our mountains, and that's our honorable mentions. The only thing is it's a draft style now. So Colin, you're first, then Jason, then me, then Andy. And if you've ever played fantasy football, which I can't – do Canadians play fantasy football? I don't know. And then,
yes.
And you know, yeah, you do. And Jason,
I have a team. The name is Gorilla Monsoon's.
I know
band.
Jason has mentioned in the past, that he's kind of given up on sports recently. So in those things, but basically in fantasy football, first round you go one way, and the second round you come backwards. Then you go one way again and backwards again. So it's serpentine or snake style. So what's going to end up happening, Colin, you're going to pick first. You're also going to pick last. And you got 2 picks in the middle. We cannot match. So here's the catch. You probably, if you have somebody high on the list, you might want to grab him early. And if you got some deep cuts, save them to the end. So here we go. Colin, and by the way, you don't need to give a whole diatribe about these guys. They're just honorable mentions. We're going to throw them out, 1 or 2 little stats, and keep it moving. So Colin, you're first. Who just
would I ever go on a diatribe? Never. Lester, hush it.
Who's your first
I'm
on the
gonna have
mountain?
to go with Willie Tanner from Alf.
This was mentioned in the chat.
That I had a date with my mother every Monday night to watch Alf and the original Canadian classic Degrassi Junior High and Degrassi High. So it means a lot when we talk about Alf or Degrassi because I watched it with my mother growing up. Willie Tanner, don't look up his personal life. Go ahead.
That is correct. Don't look up his personal life.
Don't look up his personal life. Hey, look, it was mentioned in the chat. I loved Alf. He ate cats. Dude, I love Alf. It was a fun show, and Andy and I go on record as loving puppets. It's a great art. All right, so Jason, who's next?
This guy would have been in my top 4 had I not changed the format. Nobody's mentioned him. That saddens me. Mike Brady, obviously not an 80s dad, but we all watched it ad nauseum in the 80s. I love Mike.
Nauseum. I will say this. I did not watch the Brady Bunch. I hated the Brady Bunch.
Oh, my goodness.
Because my sisters were all older than me, and they watched it ad nauseum, right? That and like Bewitched, and I Dream of Jeannie, and all whatever. And I just didn't like any of those shows that they watched. And this was one of those ones, and I just kind of avoided it. And I did watch the movie. I knew that this was a potential to be on everybody's mountain because he's widely considered a fantastic dad. So,
nobody does a better Mike Brady than the Mike Brady from the Brady movie. He does a better Mike Brady than Mike Brady. So if you know, you know.
All right, so I'm going to come in hot, Andy, mainly because the guy doesn't go by dad. He goes by uncle. And I'm going with Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And that's going to be the George of Scenes. Just throwing that out there.
How come you don't love me, man? That's a good one. Okay, so I'm safe here. So it's really just where I want to go with these different picks. Okay, here's going to be my 2 right here. I have to mention him. We got to go Peter Griffin. Peter Griffin.
We didn't have to mention him, but sure.
Family Guy. I mean,
Peter.
Yeah, it's just that good. And then, I mean, I may be drafting these guys just based on voices, but this guy's voice, mainly because of the voice actor that plays him. But I'm going with Nigel Thornberry. I'm going Nigel Thornberry from the Wild Thornberries, a.k.a. Tim Curry himself. Nigel Thornberry. I got to go there.
Yeah, I'm going to come in hot. My oldest on the mountain, kind of think he should have been picked as everybody's George. I'm going Andy Taylor, the Andy Griffith Show.
100%.
I'm crossing off some names here.
Opie, man, just fantastic. I mean, if you want to watch good, wholesome TV and get a good lesson, Andy Griffith. Matter of fact, Andy, our pastor.
Yes, I was just about to mention
it's his favorite show of all time. He still watched it every night. I mean, like, whatever.
Never gets old. You want to, you're not feeling good. You want to sit around the house. It's snowing out or something like that. I know that only happens in Canada. It's snowing out. You get on the couch. You watch Andy Griffith for 10 straight hours. It's fantastic.
Jason, you're up.
My next pick, if you want to, you're talking about voices. How about Ayo, OA, Angela, Samantha, Jonathan, Tony Maselli from Who's the Boss? No particular reason.
Tony
like,
Danza.
I like the show. He's great. Alyssa Milano was my first TV show crush. So
Wasn't she everybody's in the 80s?
Good grief, she's fantastic.
And at like 60, she still looked phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly. She is 60.
Let's see, how old is she? For goodness.
I'm going.
You get back-to-back picks, by the way.
I'm going.
She's 52. I thought she was older than that. She's only 2 years older than you. 3 years older than you.
Yeah, I know. I got a shot now, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
She's got two spouses.
Two of them. Huh?
Are we ready?
Yeah, you get back-to-back picks there, Colin.
Back to back. Another great performance. Carol O'Connor as Archie Bunker.
Oh,
I mean,
those were the days.
what a performance.
Listen, wait, pause. This was almost the song that I put on Instagram, and I didn't want to have a riot. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have because listen, those were the days. You cannot have that kind of TV anymore.
No way.
No way. No way.
Okay, so Archie Bunker, and then my first cartoon. How about Fred Flintstone?
Oh,
Yeah, good one.
Well done.
Deep cut there. He was on my list. He was on my list for sure.
Goggles Paisano is racing on the wall. All right.
Barney.
When him and Barney record the song, who's that swinging down the street? Who's the birdie with the 2-4 beat? Okay, there you go.
Well,
I do love that they always went bowling. I do love that.
Yeah.
Jason's a bowler. I'm a bowler.
That's right.
We love bowling.
We love the bowling.
Colin, do you bowl?
I'm about a 120 maybe.
I think they have. I think they have the quills up there. Isn't that what? It's called?
Jason, you're like a 220, aren't you?
Oh, I'm a 220, 221, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm about a 180 there, Colin. I'm right in the middle.
you guys
All
hit
right,
100.
so back to you, Jason.
You guys get 100. Well, I'll do them in the. I'll save my last one. My last one's a shock. Who do I have here? Oh, I just watched this show about 8-9 months ago. Herman Munster is a.
Oh, there we go.
Pretty gosh
Oh,
darn
good
good.
pick. Good pick.
Yeah.
That is a really good pick, actually. Now, this next one. Let's. I'm going to save that one. I'm going to say. Let's see. Who do I have left?
I'm going to steal it now.
No, you're not going to steal it. I'm going to go with this one. Actually, I could do either one because you're doing cartoons unless you're veering. I'll go with this one. I'm going to go with the other show on TGIF. I'm going with Carl Winslow.
Nice.
I'm going with Family Matters. And listen, not only was he the parent to his beautiful girls and had that whole relationship, but he was the main voice in Urkel's life. And that's just, that's really cool. So yeah, I'm going to go there. 120 is the new 70, I guess. Yeah. Okay. And I finished the milkshake. I missed that. Uncle Jesse is the honorable mention. Andy, you get your last two picks, back-to-back jacks.
Yeah, I'm going to go to potentially my favorite Nickelodeon show of all time. I'm going to
Douglas.
Nope. Well, the Doug's up there, but I think my favorite is Hey Arnold. But I'm going to go not Hey Arnold's dad. I'm not even going his grandpa. He's hilarious. So he's a father figure. But I'm going to go with one of the greatest episodes ever of Hey Arnold. It's a lighthearted show. We've talked about how some of these shows get really deep really quick. And it's actually a Christmas episode, but it's Mr. Nguyen. I'm going with him. He's the Vietnamese immigrant. If you watch his origin story, the reason I'm picking him, there was like the Vietnam War, something was happening, and there was a helicopter coming to take them, and there was only room for one, and he let his daughter go to America to be saved, and then they lost contact. It's a really, really deep episode. You should check it out. Also, Randy Travis is a country singer. He does the voice of Mr. Nguyen when he sings and sings at the Grand Ole Opry. But yeah, I'm going there, and he's a really funny character anyway. You should check that out. Hey Arnold, great show. And my last pick, I'm going to go with possibly my favorite Nickelodeon TV show.
How many?
I'm gonna go because as I say, Hey Arnold, I'm looking at this one. I'm like, no, I think this is actually my favorite one. Longest running, still running, but I'm going Eugene Krabs. That's what I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Mr. Krabs. Right? His
SpongeBob.
daughter is a whale. I don't even know how this happens. But
Pearl.
it is what it is. So,
Pearl.
Yeah.
Pearl.
Money. I like money. But yeah, I'm going Krabs.
Nice.
Well, I don't see him anymore. He used to be up here. Is he over here? Maybe. Anyways, I got a SpongeBob as my last gift.
SpongeBob.
I got a SpongeBob stuffed animal from a homeless person. It was the last thing I did in homeless ministry, and it's dear to me. It used to sit right up there, but I used it as a prop, and I think it might be. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So this pick is between three people. One's a cartoon, one's an 80s show, one's more a 90s show. I'm gonna go with the 80s show. Now, maybe I'll leave the 80s show to you guys in case it's picked. I'm gonna go with the cartoon. I'm going with, he probably has more kids than everybody. I'm going with Papa Smurf. Papa
Nice.
Smurf. One of my favorite cartoons as a kid, the little blue guys. I mean, how many kids has he got? Like 1 million? And there's only one woman in the whole place, and it's his kid.
He's like Nick Cannon.
He's like Nick Cannon. I'm going to go with Papa Smurf. He always had something great to say to, especially Brainy and jokey. I'm going Papa Smurf. Finish off my mountain.
Brilliant. My last one, I had to include him because this is one of my favorite shows. He's a terrible dad, probably a terrible person until the very last moment of his life or somebody else's life where he shows some humanity. But I just love him. I think my last pick is J.R. Ewing as father. If you're not familiar, he's
Dallas.
with Dallas, but he's just man, this is the guy that would sell his own mother down the river, and I think he did in one episode. And I just have to include him.
I don't know that I ever watched an episode of Dallas except for when my parents were watching it.
Yeah, sure, but he's not a good dad. You know,
I do remember the last show being like the most epic finale like ever. Like when it happened, I remember it was on every magazine cover.
Yeah,
you couldn't walk through the grocery without seeing it. Just everything, everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, and in fact, that real quick, that's when TV was just a different entity because nobody knew when it was the Who Shot JR. Nobody knew who actually shot JR until that next September. And in fact, to keep it quiet, they filmed like 12 people shooting JR. So nobody really knew who shot JR until.
Wait. They shot JR?
They did.
Spoiler alert.
Well,
spoiler.
We always say that. It's like
spoiler alert.
Spoiler. You've had 20 years to get it unspoiled.
Spoiler alert. Yeah.
I just think of the Office episode when they got the Dallas board game or whatever in the garage.
B2. I bet you B2 watched a little Dallas back in the day. Barry, did you watch Dallas?
Did I?
No. Barry. Barry.
All right. Well, Colin, you have the last pick. Mr. Irrelevant, the final pick.
You get to finish the show off and tell us all good night. Right at almost the 3-hour mark.
I have the final one?
This is your last pick. This is it.
Okay, because I am from Canada, I will quite possibly do the deepest cut. We would be here 20 hours and no one would say this. This did air in America, but it's born and raised in Ottawa, Canada. You can't do that on television. And Les Lie portrayed all the adult characters on that show. And
the bus driver.
Yes, the dad on the program was Lance Prevert, not the other word, and just a phenomenal actor that clearly doesn't get all the accolades. He's passed away, but just a great Canadian actor and a great portrayal of all those silly characters on one of the greatest kids programs ever. It did make it to America, so I'm not talking out of school. It's not strictly a Canadian thing. So Les Lie as Lance Prevert.
Every dad in America right now can blame this show for introducing the world to slime.
Sure.
Yes.
This is Nickelodeon. There you go. We have another Nickelodeon.
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
introducing us.
I mean, this is like not my era of Nickelodeon, but I love it for that, for the slime.
Yeah, my favorite part about this is just a side quip, has nothing to do with dads, and I don't even, honestly, I can't even remember that dad. I only remember the bus driver, which is the same guy, right? It's the same guy.
Yeah. He did all the characters.
You'd remember Barth too. You would remember.
Right. I can't remember, but my favorite part about this show was the whole gag bit of the lockers and like popping out and like talking and then like that whole deal. And I remember like when I was a kid, I couldn't wait to get a locker because it's almost like you think that there's like a secret passage when you're like 7. And when you really get it, it's like, it's just not how lockers work. This is not how lockers work. I love that show. You can't do that on television. Nobody would have mentioned. But hey, Barry said Dallas spelled backwards is salad. Of course I watched it. Barry, I wanted to ask you this the other day, and you just reminded me. Did you get that bit, the whole backwards thing from Harry Carey? Anyways, because I know Harry Carey used to do that all the time.
Harry Carey.
Colin has all the knowledge. Colin has all the knowledge. Retro Rays, says Colin. So here's how it goes, guys. The show is over. It's not time to go quite yet. 21 is still in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button before you head out. Make sure you, if you can, stop by again tomorrow. Drop a comment. That's always helpful. We do have some things coming up. Next week, we have sports video games. We're with 2 amazing people. They were in the chat earlier. PCG, that's Poetically Christian Gamer, and David Bryant, who runs the Augusta Video Game Expo. They're both video gamers. They're going to come on and do sports video games. We're starting sports. We do have to nail out some other of the topics. We had a great time tonight with our buds, our 80s retro guys. We're already calling it. So we'll have TV moments. We'll have TV moments in, March, April. So March and April is music. So June, no, that's wrong. May and June is movies and TV. So sometime May or June, we will do another episode of best TV moments of all time. That's going to be fantastic. We'll have you guys back on. And if you guys ever need us to come and visit in y'all's neck of the woods, obviously. But before we go, let's see. Colin, you went first, didn't you? Jason, you go first this time. Tell everybody about your channel that may not have heard earlier. They might be new here. Tell them what you have maybe coming up next. If you have any ideas for another show or episode or what you got planned and how you finish out the season here.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a multi-toy line collection. So we're collecting for Turtles, and we're collecting for Master of the Universe, and we're collecting for G.I. Joe, and we're playing any video game you can possibly imagine on the Canadian emulator. And we're hanging out in the garage, and we're going for drives together and road trips. And sometimes we just talk about stuff I experienced throughout the day that upsets me, and I'd like to tell you about it. So yeah, the New 80s Revolution over there on the YouTube. Such a viewer friendly show. I love chatting with everybody, making real life friendships, and come hang out with us.
Side note, I do love that you go live now. I do love I have almost exclusively gone to just watching people live. When I click on YouTube, I go to the subscription, hit it, and see who's live, and just go in there and chat with folks, and then I'm out. I don't hardly watch any other like pre-filmed videos now. Colin's is actually one of the ones on the list. Every time I see it, I try and catch it. But I love that you're live, because when you're live, you get to have what we had all day over here, and you get to meet people, talk with them, say hello, pray for them, and just actually feel like you're a part of something. And I love that you've started doing that recently. Everybody go check out New Age Revolution. It's great. He puts out an email where you can ask him all kinds of questions. He's got all kinds of really cool toys.
Also, every now and then
started out with LJNs, but it's even bigger than that. He's got people sending him stuff. It's just a really cool stuff.
And every now and then, I heard he does a Rushmore. So I mean,
and that's how we
started.
This whole marriage here started because right around that time when we were starting, I just went searching online for other people that might be doing a Rushmore, because I wanted to see what they were doing. And this was one of the first ones that came up. He was doing a Rushmore.
Have you done a Rushmore since back then?
Out of respect for those who do it better, I no longer do Rushmore.
You are welcome. You're so welcome. Matter of fact, how about you have us on your show, and we'll do it even in a shorter version, because I know you're in like a 15-minute clip, and we'll send you our Rushmores of something really cool in your house.
Yeah, let's do
something like that.
All right,
we'll do another Rushmore another time on your channel. But Colin, share everybody the love that is. You got so many amazing things on the wall, and you haven't talked about one of them. You have a pen usually taped up there. You've got
the pen's there. Come on,
there it is.
There it is. Any other way. It's there.
There it is.
Okay, what does Colin have going on? Whatever the heck you would call this thing, we already covered that. Lester, I know. That's the NCAN Connection, the single greatest tag team walking the face of the earth today. Also, special guests on your show today, me and Jason Knupp. Are you sick of the friendship yet? YouTube Ultra Mega Superstar Colin from Canada. Good coffee is always free. That's my dad. He's a legend. Just finished off.
And now he's a TV dad.
There you go. Episode 29 was the first time I filmed away from the studio, where I went camping with my girlfriend and my father. I think it's hilarious. So it's hilarious. Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's 30th anniversary extravaganza spectacular is already filmed. It's in the can. It's a safari party motif. That will all make sense when I cobble it together and release it either this Friday or Saturday. As everybody knows, we only celebrate on the 10s, and this is the 30th. Again, it's Tom Green meets Mr. Rogers, and then they had a baby, and they named it David Letterman, but his real name is Colin from Canada, and that's all you really need to know. So tune in. It's an hour of your time that I know you can give me, because I keep talking, and it's hilarious. So, Lester, was that good?
It's so good. It's so good. It is so good, guys. Go check it out. Go check all these guys out. Check everybody in the chats out. Yeah, there's just a lot coming up. Guys, find us on social media. There will be a poll that I need you guys to vote on. Obviously, the winner is the bald bearded guy, and we'll just let the cards play. And, well,
I got a fun graphic.
Colin, you need to get some glasses. That would help, Colin.
Yeah.
Glasses, and then it would even be closer. So, Andy, you were going to say something?
No, I was just saying I've got a good graphic in the works for tomorrow. So look forward to this one. This will be fun.
All right, guys. Well, it is good night. We just broke the 3-hour mark, and Colin said he was going to bring it and break the record tonight. We just missed it. We got within 8 of the record, which we've probably done that about 5 times. So
I'll say this too, though. I think we've had a good, consistent number of people. Like, we've never held it at 30 to 20 for as long as we did tonight. So that's
it's going to be a great opportunity. If you guys have any idea of things that you want us to do in the show, we've got sports coming up. We do need some guests for food. If anybody wants to be in food, that's in the chat. Send me a message. If you love food, you love to eat food, you don't have to be a cook or a chef. We can come up with fun topics. You ever want to be on food? I need at least, I think, 2 more guests, maybe one, at least one. in December. And if you want to be on the show, let me know. And the new topics will be coming out this week. You should be able to see them. Once I post them, you can go all and like and comment on all the shows that are happening out for the next series. It's time to say goodnight. 18 of you still hanging out with us for a whole 3 hours is nothing but love for all you guys. Hey, you guys don't go anywhere. We're about to hang out into the green room. But Andy, tell everybody good night. And let's go home. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
A few moments later.
A few minutes later, we're going to say goodnight now. Like we always do, this is the Rushmore Show where it's all about your top four.
And
And nothing more.
nothing more.
Peace.